Just
Yeah, yeah.
okay. I like that, Nick. I like it. I want to hear this theory. Let me double check that we actually are live. Refreshing the page. We might be live, boys. We might be live. We might not. And we are.
We are not. Really?
Mine shows we are.
Oh. Oh, because I'm not on the home page. That's why. Yeah, we're live.
Okay.
We're live. Nick's spinning in his chair. Oh, he's looking at his
World keeps on spinning.
Tubes is talking. Oh, I'm sipping my water.
Okay. So we're good, and sounds good. Everything sounds good. I'm not going to text people tonight. Well, I told BK we're going live, but Sadu didn't see the movie and seems to have dropped out, which is going to be my major subject. So no point in telling him.
It's a Sadu episode, yeah.
Well, it's a Sadu and friends don't like it episode. Clearly.
Well, if they are watching,
yeah,
let us know about the volume levels, boys.
Oh, yeah. Good point. McMaster might pop up at some point and let us know. Episode Shuckaroonies 48. Episode 48, Over the Show. Tubi, Nick D, live from New York City, Jarvis Jerry.
Beep boop bop boop.
And we are doing Ant-Man and is it Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania?
I think so, yeah.
Like WrestleMania, but Quantumania?
I think so, yeah.
That is the episode, as well as a few other things. I know Nick D's watched a ton of different animes, and I watched 2 not so good movies, but they were all right. Let's knock out the easy stuff first, and then I guess we'll get into the deeper shit. Nick, you got a lot going on, so are you just watching single episodes and catching up?
Well, I watched the Jujutsu Kaisen movie, which was good.
What's that? Let's get into that. That's a movie?
Yeah, it's a prequel movie that it's just another version of Chainsaw Man, teen with powers fighting demons. The show's really good, and the movie's great. It's got some of the. I mean, I mainly watch anime for the animation. I mean, I know that sounds redundant, but it's got great
mainly
animation.
watch animation for the animation. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's like the way they tackle movement is just like amazing. Like even if they're not even fighting, like if they're just like doing something, it's like damn, that is drawn so well, and it's like in motion in such a cool way. Yeah, it was great.
And that's the panda gif that you sent with the panda fighting a man.
Yeah.
I can tell because the poster has the panda too.
Yeah. Panda's dope. Panda's a great character.
Good guy, bad guy.
Good guy. The guy at the very top is the bad guy of this movie. The guy with like the kind of kimono-looking thing and the ponytail.
And does the panda speak English? Or, my bad.
Yeah.
Does the panda speak?
Yeah, totally.
That's interesting.
It's not a real panda. Spoiler, but not really a spoiler. I mean, as soon as the character's introduced. And again, like, this is a prequel.
Wait. What do you mean it's not like, a real panda?
Principal of the school that they all go to, his power is that he's a puppeteer, and Panda is his greatest accomplishment, where normally they're just puppets, right? He can just like kind of infuse things with life and fight demons with them. Panda's like actually conscious, and so he raised him as like a person, and so Panda's like he's not a demon, but he's made with demonic power. And like, yeah, and he goes to this school. He's like 14, or I don't even know how old.
The panda's 14?
Well, he's like a junior, so I guess like 16. Yeah. Because, yeah, they're all... it's like a school. It literally is just Chainsaw Man, but instead of working for like a corporation, there's a high school that's like... It's like X-Men, you know, where they're teaching them to use these powers for good. And it's, like, both those characters are sick.
Isn't there...
Yeah, it's a good show.
Isn't there styling? I was listening to some other what was I listening to? They were breaking down. There's like different versions of anime, right? Like
like this would be a shonen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that was Chad talking about that on Dudes.
I think it was. I think it was. Yeah. Nick knows. Nick knows what I'm up to. Yeah.
And that's why, because it is like a template of like, oh, it's like, you know, it's like you could say like Harry Potter is like the same kind of thing, cool. With powers fighting monsters, right?
Right.
So
right,
it's the only you know, instead of if you were compared to Chainsaw Man, a lot of these characters like beat the shit out of monsters rather than using chainsaws. Like it's violent in a different.
Oh, that looks
you
cool.
know?
I like that image.
It's a really good show. Like I think if you guys, it's way less deranged than Chainsaw Man. Like Chainsaw Man is like wild and unpredictable and like, oh my god, this is gross. This is more of like this is a little bit closer to like Dragon Ball. This is a little bit closer to like it's wild, but it's definitely not Chainsaw Man wild.
Okay.
But it's good.
And it's
I
a
think
prequel of what? I'm sorry.
of the show's called Jujutsu Kaisen, and so
Oh, and then they did a movie.
Characters. Yeah, this is like this takes place like a year before the show. So it's like you could start with this. You might be a little confused on like, oh, what's going on? Who are these? Because they expect you to just know who these people are. But what it is that the show has one main character and the movie has a different main character, and you can kind of see that they're like yin and yang of each other. And it's like I didn't realize when I was watching the show they talk about this main character like a lot, and it's like, oh, they're setting it up so when these guys meet. And I assume they're going to be on the same side, but it's like, oh, I bet they're going to be on different sides because they definitely have like a yin and yang kind of thing going. So it's like I am curious as to this is like the craziest reach ever, but there's the Cormac McCarthy, like the greatest living American author we have at the moment. He is this Western series that's The Crossing, All the Pretty Horses, and the Border trilogy, right? The first two books have different protagonists, and then they meet up in the third one, and it's like this really cool one where you don't really have to. You could read book 1 or 2 in any order because everyone meets in book 3. I have a feeling Jujutsu Kaisen is going to be like that, where it's like these like almost kind of separate stories, and then you're like, oh, they're linked. Like, yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, to compare it to McCarthy.
Let me ask you this, Nick. I got a lot of questions. The show. How long did the show go on?
Only one season. They're doing season 2. They did season 1. The movie came out during COVID, and I think season 2 is coming up pretty soon.
Okay, so it's still current. It's current.
Yeah, exactly. Only season 1 is finished. Yeah.
And what is this, Crunchyroll?
Yep. It's also I think I watched it on HBO Max, but it's on.
I saw Crunchyroll, like the physical locations in San Francisco.
Oh yeah, totally.
I was in the car with like the boys. Anton was driving. I looked over and boom, there was the logo in a window, and I was like, "Whoa!" They didn't know what I was like, "Whoa, Crunchyroll!" They're like, "What? What do you?" I think they thought I was pointing out a sushi spot, but no, it was the orange sign.
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
Bandai Namco, the Dragon Ball people, they've got studios in California. I don't know about here, but I think NorCal. Yeah, like probably like.
So that's not the Crunchyroll main office. That's just the American office.
I actually that might be like the main American office, like that.
Wow.
Like, I
was going to mention that to you,
which kind of makes sense that if they're bouncing back and forth between Japan and SF, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I mean it's right.
It's in Hawaii though.
It's close to downtown. It's like real close to downtown. Yeah. I thought it was interesting. I was going to text you that the other day, but I got distracted.
I wonder if it's like it's probably just like an office. I was going to say like I wonder if they have like a little lobby.
No, it was straight up an office building. With a sign out front. Yeah. It looked like it was on lockdown, like with a little front desk in the front, like you couldn't even get up in there.
That makes sense.
I didn't try, but
When I was in Kyoto, I didn't realize that where I was staying was like literally like half a mile from the Nintendo office. And apparently it's the same thing. Like there's nothing, like you can go in and there's like a very little lobby with a couple of things on the wall and a Mario statue, but it's not like, They you can go in and be like, oh, check it out, Nintendo, but there's not like a gift shop or that. And it's like, oh, dude, I would have went had I known. Like it was like around the corner.
But they do have a major store out there too.
They do, but just the Nintendo office itself. Like I walked by the building.
Yeah.
Like I when I saw a picture of it, I was like, oh my god, I know that area.
Yeah.
Like I probably even had dinner on that street.
Yeah,
but it's just like a little unassuming building. Like there's no sign that said Nintendo. At least I didn't. Okay. You know what I mean? It's just like an office building.
Yeah. I skated near the Adobe building many a times.
Oh wow!
And I'm always like, give me some free software or something. I pay you guys a ton.
Shirt. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but, get a hat.
No, their security guards are like, what are you talking about? They don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, because Adobe's got a giant building in downtown San Ho.
Ah.
Yeah, that's where they are, which makes sense.
I did not know that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, dude, all the HP, you know, every other
Silicon Valley.
yeah, every other plaza has an Apple logo on the outside of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty crazy down there with that kind of stuff. We get kicked out of Google spots all the time. You know, they got good security.
Mm-hmm.
I think we were riding a Google spot the other day. Yeah. They're all No robots though. You know.
Not yet.
This guys.
And then JoJo, I'm assuming you just are catching up on the newest season.
Yeah, I'm just working through it.
I'm still on season 4.
Is that with Josuke? Why it's hard is because season 1 is 2 seasons in the sense that it's Joseph and Jonathan.
I'm way
so
past
I always
season
think,
1.
Yeah, and so have you
Season
met
1 was the
Jotaro yet?
best. Season 1 was the best. I just want to point that out too. I
also think season 1 might also have the best theme song. Like
Yeah.
season 1 theme song is so good.
Season 2 or the one I'm on currently is where they're all more
Mean?
good looking.
Are they
and,
in
like,
Japan or are they in England?
It was just I'm not too far after the guy on the bottom corner. Spoilers is dead.
Speedwagon?
Never
No,
watched
no,
it.
but-
no. Speedwagon dies. Obviously.
No, well, there's multiple Speedwagons. I just don't know what one. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like,
It's
it moves through generations, so I
it's-
just don't know what one you're referring to.
it's that guy in the center still alive. He's the main dude, homie.
Oh, Jotaro with
Jotaro.
the hat.
Yeah, and then
Okay, so yeah,
the like Indian gentleman.
Abdul.
He
Abdul.
Yeah. He gets murked in the streets. If you remember, do you remember that at
Yeah.
all? It was pretty gnarly. It's
By,
pretty gnarly.
By Whole Horse, yeah, by the cowboy.
Is that season 3 or 4?
That's technically season 2 because Joseph and Jonathan are it feels like 2 seasons, but that's all season 1. So I think Stardust Crusaders is season 2, even though it feels like season 3
Okay, then maybe
because
I'm-
it's your third Joestar.
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, that's
He's
what
your
I meant.
third
I'm on my
Joestar.
third Joe
Yeah.
Star. That's what. Yeah, I'm towards the end though, Nick. I think of that season.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yes, and to be honest, I kind of lost like a little bit of interest. 'Cause I just don't like that Joe Star as much. I like the first 2.
Yeah. I think you'll there's and just know there's other Joestars. Like
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
don't like this one, you can just I also don't think if you're not digging it, just go to the next one.
Well, it was when I was at the
Skip it,
farm.
go to
I was cranking them at
Oh,
the
yeah,
farm,
yeah.
and since I came home, I haven't been watching. And then I started watching Chainsaw Man. I'm only on episode 3 of that.
Oh, okay.
I have to say it's easier when it's a movie, like a one and doneer or something. Or
Yeah.
Cyberpunk was so good, but that was like what 10 episodes, and you're like you could see the. I like it when I can see the finish line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it when I can see the finish
Miniseries,
line.
man.
Yeah,
Miniseries.
it's hard to commit to something where you're like, oh, I got a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
But I do really like
It took me forever just to even start Game of Thrones because of that. Because I was really late to Game of Thrones, and it was like, dude, hour episodes, and I've got like 50.
Yeah,
I was like, oh my god.
yeah. But I do really like it. I have to say, you were right, Nick. It is a really good show.
Yeah.
I'm getting more and more into anime. I think you were right. Cowboy Bebop was a great starting point for me to get into it because that's a very good like sci-fi,
Kind of cool. Yeah, but it's still kind of grounded. Like it's
bounty
not-
hunters. You know,
Yeah.
it's not. I don't want to say Star Warsy, but it definitely has some Star Wars vibes to it with the spaceships and the bounty hunting and all that. You're like, yeah, okay. And the little crew, it's very like Guardians.
Yeah, totally.
You know, I don't know.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
I have to say, nothing to me has captured that moment. To me personally,
I feel like a lot of people feel that way. Like Cowboy Bebop was something special.
I think so.
Cowboy Bebop was
I really do.
something special, yeah.
I
Yeah.
like. I really like the smoking and the outfits and the whole. Yeah,
It's classic cool. It's classic cool.
It's just-
And like the soundtrack, like
Yeah.
especially when you like when that thing came out, we were like I don't know, 11 or 12 or 13, and it's like I didn't really listen to jazz, and to hear all this like wild, crazy bebop jazz, like
yeah. I really like.
Yeah,
I
great
really like
soundtrack.
that. I really like that. Speaking on that,
I
real
always
quick.
liked,
Go ahead, Jerry.
Just Outlaw Star. You might like Outlaw
Outlaw
Star.
Star.
Outlaw
yeah.
Star.
I watched the
Outlaw
first 2
Star.
episodes of that not
I'll
too
put
long
it in the
ago,
chat.
yeah.
Okay, I
I'll
was
just
gonna write
type
that
it in the
down.
chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll do that.
What I was gonna say was, I mean, I know, Jerry, did you watch Cowboy Bebop live action?
I didn't finish it.
Okay. Didn't need to, but either of you gonna try One Piece?
I'll try
Probably.
it, but
Might as well.
let's just like I'm going in that it's doomed. Like it's like one, they're not going to go as long as the original One Piece, which is like 1,000 episodes.
Still going.
It's
Still
gonna
going.
be changed. Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be changed. It's gonna be different. And Netflix is, I would argue, the worst streaming network or company. That it's like I'll check it out of morbid curiosity.
Amazon.
The show's not gonna be. Yeah. Oh, it's Amazon?
I think Amazon is the worst streaming platform.
I mean, I don't know. Like
based off of
I don't really watch
looks.
Amazon shows, so it's like I really have no.
The
yeah, I
Boys.
would know.
The Boys.
Oh yeah, The Boys. I watched The Boys.
And that's their number one show.
Yeah.
But I'm basing that off of looks.
Like, do you mean like the UI? You don't like the interface?
It is such hot garbage.
Huh.
The interface. Sometimes I don't know if either of you ever use it, but you'll go and you're like, oh,
Just for The Boys.
I found a movie I want to watch. You go to click on it, it's like $9.99, and you're like, whoa, what the fuck?
Okay, yeah.
Apple kind of
It
does
should
it
just.
too.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But I only use Apple to watch Ted Lasso and Mythic Quest, really. So it doesn't bother me because I know what I'm going on to Apple to get. So I never search Apple for like other stuff. I don't even know if they have other stuff. But yeah, dude, Amazon, dude. I agree though, Nick. I think Nick, the thing I would say is Netflix is the classic kill shower.
Yeah.
They make something you like and then they kill it.
Yeah, exactly.
So I agree with you.
Or they take something you love and they ruin it.
Yeah.
They get you both ways.
What do you feel like? Arrested Development? Would you consider that a ruiner?
I see. That's the thing. I've heard as such, but I'm still a season behind on Arrested Development. I haven't watched season 5. I've only seen 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4. 4 may not be perfect, but I do think seasons 1, 2, and 3 qualify Arrested Development as like one of the greatest TV comedies ever. To me, the only one better is Seinfeld. Like Arrested Development is top tier for me.
Wow.
I love Arrested, but again, I haven't finished it. So I've heard that season 5 is not very good.
You go Seinfeld over Curb?
That's hard. Like
Just throwing that out there too.
Yeah, like shooting from the hip, yes, but I'd have to think about that. Like, and it's because same thing with Curb, and again, nothing against Curb, but I'm also like maybe even 2 seasons behind on Curb. I love Larry David. I think he's a genius. Yeah. But like, I just I haven't. I'm behind.
I'm one season behind. Curb. I'm one season behind on Curb.
I think I'm.
So I feel like the last I saw was them moving to New York. Yeah, like I don't know what happens after New York.
Okay. Yeah, I'm one season behind on Curb. I felt like the last season they didn't promote very well. Personal opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was one of those things where I feel like I didn't hear about it until it was done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually in the midst of watching Seinfeld currently.
It's nice. What season are you on?
Like 8? No.
Hell yeah.
6, 7? Something like that.
Hell yeah.
It's been my bedtime show, so I'm not watching every episode because I think I pass out and probably 2 or 3 play after I'm asleep or something maybe.
Yeah.
I do think I would agree with you that I like Seinfeld better than Curb because I'm a weirdo and I love the laugh track and like the way sitcoms used to be.
Yeah.
I really like the way
it's nostalgic.
Yeah. Like that always wins me over a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I get that. I'm all nostalgia these days.
Curb's got some moments. It's got some of the best moments.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The bathroom without a toilet.
Like, I've seen every Seinfeld episode so many times that I'm like laughing internally. I'm like, that's funny. That makes me laugh. With Curb, I'm still like cackling. You know what I mean? Because like there's still things that like Curb will surprise me with.
Yeah. Yeah, it catches you off guard. They push the limits on that show.
Yeah. I do wonder how many times I've watched Seinfeld in my life. Like I'm sure I've done more than 10 rewatches. Just It was on like 5 times a day for a couple of years. Like I've burned through Seinfeld so many times.
Yeah, yeah. It's awesome that's on Netflix. I will say I will give Netflix a little points because they do.
Yeah.
They always seem to have one big name sitcom for you to watch. They had
Yeah,
Friends.
yeah.
Now they have Seinfeld. They kind of
The Office, Parks.
yeah. They had Parks and they had The Office for a long time there. Yeah, like
Yeah.
they always have a backbone show that I can rely on.
Totally.
And not a lot of these other fucking streamers have that.
Yeah.
You know, Hulu has everything. Hulu is a really good
Yeah.
one. I hate to say that.
Yeah.
I was surprised by that. I'll say I was surprised by. I'm a frequent Huluer.
Me too now.
I'm not mad.
I'm not mad either, Jer. You know, and I
I'm
mean,
also only one season behind on Curb, just the latest one. I haven't seen.
me too. Yeah, just the latest one.
Yeah.
And a lot of the original content that they're putting out on Hulu is pretty good. They got original movies that are pretty good too. You know, they definitely get some good. But then again, it is like the adult Disney. That is what Hulu is. So
Yeah.
Disney does. I mean, as much people want to hate, Disney does it best, and that's just the way it is.
I mean, they got the money and resources and actors.
And your boy's invested, so let's keep it going, Disney. Let's keep
Keep
it
it going,
going,
yeah.
baby. Real quick, Nick, because I do want to talk about it. Don't give too much deets, because I'm.
I'm not even gonna get into it because you guys are gonna love it. Let's just say you guys both need to be watching Ash.
That's what I was. You knew. That's literally what I was about to say because I'm on it. I've watched.
It's so fun.
Well, here's my one thing I have to say. I have started season 1 twice now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Me too. This is my third attempt, and like all I can say is get to as soon as they're in the woods. Like it's like okay, like a spoiler alert. They go to the cabin.
I think I got right to when they got to the cabin.
Oh, I would even say just pick it up from there. You get it. Like yeah, just pick it up from like episode 5.
Okay.
But I won't say anything. You know what? One thing is I've been also playing the hell out of that Evil Dead game. I'm like obsessed with that game.
That's like kind of inspiring it. Oh,
everything you do,
I got you.
Bring
it back. I got you.
Everything you do in that game is based off the plot of the show, and so every episode I watch, there's like one of the things is like, oh, how you upgrade the game is this thing called Pink F, right? Which I just found out last night in the episode I watched. That because Ash has a signature drink, which is just alcohol and ketamine, called Pink Fuck. And I'm like, oh, that's the shit you use to upgrade. Like, it's just everything in the game is not like a spoiler to the show, but it's a reference. And I'm just like, I'm in an Evil Dead mood. I'm going to, as soon as I finish the show, I'm going to go back and watch all the movies. You guys got to get on it. Like, not because we even need to talk about it, but I just really think you'd love it. I, like, am dying of laughing while I'm watching it. It's so funny. It's gross. Oh my god, it's gory.
Yeah, it's pretty gory. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a Army of Darkness over Evil Dead though.
It's that's the thing. It's Army of Darkness all the way. It's really not Evil Dead. It is a comedy with lots of violence, but it's
I love Evil Dead.
Ash.
I love Evil Dead too. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. But it's silly Ash. He's Johnny Bravo. He's a cartoon character.
I think the biggest mistake in Hollywood is that they didn't do Ash versus Freddy versus Jason. I still think that's the biggest fuck up.
That would have been the coolest.
Yeah. I own all the comics. I have the first run of the comics. I love that comic series. It's one of the few comic series I probably own from beginning to end, all of them. Big fan. I think I got those with you, Jerry. I think that was when you were getting Dark Tower comics, and I was getting the Ash ones, if you remember.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, we'd go.
We'd go at the same time. You would swoop Dark Tower, and I was swooping those.
Hell yeah!
I'm a huge Ash. You know, Nick. We went and saw the musical. I think BK went with us. I'm pretty sure.
Pretty sure. Yeah, I remember that.
We weren't in the splatter zone. And if that comes to your town, I highly recommend going to the musical as well. If they're still doing that.
It was fun. Amazing.
And everything about Ash is just so cool. So I do want to give it a go. It sounds like you're getting the same vibes is what I'm hearing.
It really is. like I could be wrong, but Sam Raimi's definitely involved. But I think his brother is like writing it or like most of it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Ivan.
and Bruce Campbell's a producer. Like you can tell, it's just like the three of them be like, "This would be funny. Let's do this." Like it's so silly. Like I love it. He really is like Johnny Bravo. It's Johnny Bravo who can curse.
So, and there's 3 seasons of that, right?
Yeah, and I'm on season. I think I'm on episode 5 or 6 of season 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll check back in on that. Well, once you finish it, let's get a whole.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try to. Yeah.
I would even say just pick up where you left off.
Yeah.
Like, don't even bother recapping. You know what it is. He's got to go fight evil. Yeah.
It's 30,
What's
Jared?
that?
30 episodes.
30, yeah.
Oh, 10 each. Okay. Does it say anything about season 4, or is it done? Is it
No, it's
officially?
No,
okay.
it's done.
I'm pretty sure Bruce is retired. The character.
Oh, you're right. I remember. As soon as you said it, I'm like, oh yeah.
He's down to record voice lines, so if they want to do anything animated or digital or whatever, because he's just like, yeah, I can't do it, and he's like, I'm not opposed to somebody else playing it, but he is like, for now, it's like, you guys got my voice, like, use it.
Yeah. It's a very physical show. Like he's doing a lot in that show that I can see him being like, it's tiring. I can totally see that.
The remake of Evil Dead wasn't bad either. I have to say that one right there that you were just
loved
on.
it. Yeah.
It wasn't
and
bad.
The second one's coming out soon.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that Evil Dead Rise.
Okay, so they're not doing it. Okay, because let's be real. Why not do a remake of Army of Darkness?
Yeah,
they will.
That's the second one. It goes Evil Dead because Evil Dead 1 and 2 is just Evil Dead. It's the same thing as El Mariachi and Desperado.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's pretty much identical, right? Like I didn't have the budget. I wanted to do it better. I'm now gonna do it better.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think that I could be wrong. I think Evil Dead might have even been like a college project, and then they were like, "Well, let's really do it and gather some money." And then you get Evil Dead. Yeah, because like in Evil Dead, there's no chainsaw hand. Like I think they had to get the money to figure all that out.
Yeah.
For Evil Dead 2, yeah.
And I like both of them are good, but Evil Dead 2 is definitely the standout between the two.
Exactly.
Same with Desperado versus El Mariachi. I like El Mariachi,
but Desperado is way better. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a warm-up film,
Yeah.
I always remember seeing this in Blockbuster.
Yeah.
For sure. Very, very iconic cover. Yeah.
Super iconic.
And then to see it is like, oh.
The mini people is one. Yeah.
But I never realized. Totally thought it was something else.
Yeah. Drag Me to Hell, I saw that was down there too. That's a great
which
film
I hear is good, but I've never seen it. Yeah.
You've never seen Drag Me to Hell? Oh, I saw that in theaters. Yeah, it's a
I've
Nick.
You've seen it like chronologically. I've seen like scenes of it. So I'm pretty sure I've seen all of it, but again, never just in order.
Oh, Nick and Jerry.
The second one.
Yeah, dude, you both should. What? There's even a trailer already out?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Screw it, Jared.
It looks dope.
Screw it, Jared. Click the trailer. We're not monetized anyways. Let's watch it.
I think as long as we talk over it, Roka.
Nah, it doesn't matter. We're not monetized. Who cares? We're breaking all the laws here.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear it. Yeah.
I can. Yeah.
No matter how busy you ever got, you always found time for me.
And this is the same girl?
No.
Okay.
At least not the same actress.
Okay, so it's not necessarily a sequel.
I don't know where. I'm not entirely sure what this.
When I was just a little girl, I asked my mother.
What is this, Danny?
I found it.
Oh, no way. Oh, it's like Evil Dead in a apartment. I like it.
Yeah, it's kind of like Poltergeist 2. Yeah.
Here's what she said to me.
It's me.
Don't let it take my babies. Is what happened to Paul going to happen to us?
This evil creates terror through total
Oh,
April, hell yeah.
Oh, we're going, Nick.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Uh-oh. Why would you be in the dark like that? I'm in a dark room right now.
All you can do is run.
I'm getting this out of here.
You'd be a good mom someday, honey bath.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you know how to lie to kids. Mom?
Mommy's with the maggots now. Eeny, meeny, miny. You.
Yeah.
21st. Hell yeah.
Yeah. I have to say, the thing I think they're missing and they don't seem to understand is the comic edge that the originals have.
Mm-hmm.
That it's kind of like the last one. That it was really good. The last one was really good too, but the last one was missing that Bruce edge.
Who's
Yeah, it's
directing this one?
almost-
Lee Cronin.
They're
Screenplay by Sam Raimi.
Hell
like
yeah.
turning it into what's that thing? Annabelle and Conjuring. It's almost
Yeah.
like an anthology now.
Yeah,
That it's like, oh, here
Yeah.
are just some bad demons. It's more about the book now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Then
than-
Ash.
Yeah.
Because the original before Ash versus the Evil Dead, it was supposed to be there was going to be an Army of Darkness sequel, and then Mia was going to get a sequel, and then there was going to be Ash and Mia team up,
Yeah,
and then they
Yeah.
abandoned all that,
Yeah.
and then they're like, let's do the show. Yeah,
yeah. I remember
So,
hearing
I don't know,
that,
and-
Nick. I remember hearing all of
and-
that.
I don't know if Mia shows up in the show. Like maybe that's what. See, I have no idea what season.
I
3 is.
don't.
Like,
I don't think she does.
Yeah.
I don't think she
Okay,
does.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was the thing about the show that kind of upsets me is that when the show was originally airing, it was Stars, right? And I didn't have it.
Yeah, exactly. I was able to watch the first episode as like a trial thing.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have Stars. Yeah,
Yeah.
and by the
Was that
time it
her,
came somewhere,
actually?
I think I watched like the first 2 episodes.
Oh, that
and
it
I was
is
like,
her. Wait,
No.
it's not her. Oh, she's gonna be in Toxic Avengers though, if that actually happens.
oh, sick. That's awesome.
Oh, as a voice though. Interesting.
It looks like her though.
It
She
does.
looks like that.
So I wonder if it
Yeah,
is supposed to
Jane
be part 2, but with a different actress.
Yeah.
I wonder if whatever reason.
Well, click on it really quick. Does it say Mia? Like if you go to Evil Dead Rise.
Is the character's
Yeah, I
name?
know-
Somebody
I know-
wants some
yeah, I
real
know her name is
answers
Mia.
here.
Yeah. I mean, it looked like the thing to me is it looks like a traditional horror film, and I don't consider Evil Dead to be a traditional horror film. No.
Ellie Beth.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
I don't
Mia.
know. This person doesn't have a name.
Unnamed. Maybe it is Mia. Yeah, maybe it is Mia.
Or that character's name's Ash.
Or that character's name is Ash. Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
because you wouldn't want to put that down yet necessarily, because
Yeah.
maybe at the end of the movie we see them whoop everybody up, and then maybe the
Yeah.
trailer's not showing us the parts that, because that's the
Yeah.
thing to me is that Evil Dead, it's like a horror movie where the good guy, or there is a good guy, and he goes ham.
Yeah.
I want to
And
see
then
this.
in
I
the
want to
new
see
one-
this too, Jerry.
Oh yeah, this looks great.
This
Yeah,
looks pretty good. Yeah. What were you gonna say though in the new one, Nick D?
Like in the 23rd. So in Evil Dead 1, Ash has to kill his girlfriend and his sister, and I think her sister's boyfriend, right?
Yeah.
And in 2013, the guy is dressed like Ash. He's got the blue shirt, the brown pants, and the boots. But Mia, the sister, ends up killing everyone. You know what I mean? And the guy who looks like Ash dies.
Isn't
So
there
it's
someone
like-
named Ashley in it too? And the whole time it's like a fake out.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's him. I think yeah, like I think like you think that this is Ash when really it's like, oh, in this version the sister kills the brother rather than the brother have to kill his sister.
Right.
Yeah.
And they did
Yeah, I mean, he's
they
even,
did
like-
the
he's even,
tree
like, dressed like
thing, And the whole like they did a lot of the same things.
Yeah. Such a good poster too. That's such like a scary poster for a movie.
I just like I dig him.
His name is David, I guess. Maybe his name is David Ash.
I swear someone was named Ash in it, but
I thought so. I thought so
here.
too.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't remember Bruce popping up in that one.
He's on the
very
radio or
end.
something.
Yeah, it's a thing where it's literally nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. He literally just says groovy, right? Like, doesn't he just like? I think.
Yeah, I think
Like
at
the
end.
after credit scene. Yeah, it's like he just pops up and he literally just says groovy.
Yeah, but at least like that. I mean, we'll see in this next one. He's still around, so why not have him pop up one last time?
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean that looks cool, and I'll definitely see it. And I'm juiced they're keeping the franchise going without a cabin. I mean, the only thing that make that look like it was an actual Evil Dead, besides the book, but the book's been in other stuff. Like, let's not deny the book is in Willow. Like that book is referenced in so much stuff.
It's like that's like an old fantasy meme. I feel like like that it is like the Necronomicon. I don't even think he came up with that title. Like,
dude,
I think that's
it's also the book that the three witches prayed to in what do you call it? That Disney film they just did the sequel to recently. What is
Hocus
it?
Pocus.
Hocus Pocus. That's the with the eye on the book and everything, and it's made of human skin. Like a lot of that. So I mean, the book to me is always in play.
Horror trope.
But the fact that we see a chainsaw, I guess, is the part that's kind of being like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, I'll check it out. I'll definitely see it, and I don't want to judge it. I'm judging it already as being part of that family because it has the word Evil Dead in it. But I don't think we should necessarily. It's going to be its own whole thing.
Yeah, it's like
because like Evil Dead Rise, like this is not Rise like in terms of a prequel. Like I think they're saying like this is a new Evil Dead. Like this is the start of a new shebang-a-bang.
And I hope I think Jerry's making a great call out. I hope Jerry's wrong because I find those movies to kind of suck personally. I know that they're very popular and they make a lot of money. They're just not meant for me necessarily. I still like my original, like a big character. I need a Jason. I need a Freddy. I need a Mike. And Ash, for some reason, is in that category. And without him, it just, I don't know. Not the same for me personally.
He balances them all out. All of those movies you're following the bad guy, and here's one where you're actually following the good guy. Like it's like the action movie equivalent of like the horror star. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, totally, Nick. I agree. Yeah.
Because even though I am rooting for Jason, I am rooting for Mike Myers. Like I'm actually rooting for Ash. You know what I mean? Like
I'm usually not rooting. Well, with Mike, I'm always rooting for what's her name?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I want.
Lori.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
I want Jamie Lee Curtis, Lori. Yeah, I want Lori to win. Although this last one, I wanted Mike to just be in it. We don't need to get into it. I think we already did a show on this, right? But geez, man, that was a ball drop if I've ever seen a ball drop. No offense, but man, they screwed that up. They totally. They had me the first two times, and they just dropped that ball the third time. I'm still a little heartbroken by it. It was a good film. It just wasn't.
Halloween.
You guys haven't seen it still, no?
No, I went with you.
It was me and you,
BK
yeah,
and Ryan.
me, you, yeah. The four of us. That's right. Me, you, BK, and Ryan went. That's right. Jerry, if you ever get a chance, it's worth checking out. And Jamie Lee Curtis is great in it.
Yeah, it like you said, it is a good movie.
Yeah.
It's just not a Michael Myers movie.
No.
Yeah.
It was the other guy. It was Creepy McJoe, whatever his name was. Don't remember.
Who wasn't even... Yeah, exactly. Wasn't a bad character, but not the character I cared about.
If that was the first one out of the three, it would have been like, oh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah, and then he's wearing the mask in the next two. I would have been hook, line, sinker. Yeah. But because it's the last one, you're like, what?
Yeah.
Unless they do another one. If they do another one and Homeboy comes back, then the new guy, that would be cool. And they could win me back over. The door's still kind of cracked open.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, Nick? Because
Yeah.
Spoilers, Jared. There's no way Michael Myers is coming back by the end of it. It's like if they do, it would be like that time with Jason where he gets electrified in the grave. If anyone
Yeah.
remembers that, I
It
think
would,
it's like
it would have to
Jason
go back
4.
to like Supernatural.
Yeah, like Jason in space,
Yeah.
like that kind of
Yeah.
vibe, like Jason X.
Yeah.
Which Jason X, excellent film. I own that one. I own multiple copies of that. I own a digital and I own a hard copy of Jason X.
That's sick.
It's
That's
trash.
sick.
All right. Well, that was a lot of. I do want Nick, when you finish Ash, let's come back to that. Let's definitely.
Yeah.
That's a good one. All right. So Trigun, you two boys are both been watching that, right?
It's good.
Yeah, I'm all caught up.
And that's currently coming out.
Like you saw episode 7. I watched episode 7 today.
Yeah, I watched 7 the other day.
The only thing we don't even really need to spend this much time on it since you said it's not even done like you were saying. Dude, Libio, I can't believe they brought Libio in. I'm so juiced for that.
Yeah,
and then like when there was that little shot where his reflection and he's the comic Livio with like the hat. I don't know if you saw that where it's like it's the manga's design of him, and I was like, oh my god, where are we gonna get to see that?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot heavier than the 98 one.
Yeah.
And I do like the design of everything, how it's cooler, closer to the mangas and stuff, and it's cool seeing Legato.
Yeah. He's got the weird
Starting
arm.
to see. Yeah, so it also seems like there's gonna be a second season, because it seems like unless this is gonna be long, like you said, unless it's gonna be like 20 episodes or something, which I think we know it's not, right? So
And this is Crunchyroll, boys, or what streaming service? Crunchy?
Hulu?
I think it's on Hulu too, but I'm watching
Hulu?
on Crunchy. Yeah.
It's not a Hulu
Yeah.
original.
No.
I think it's actually just on. It's on in Japan right now, so I don't know what channel's putting it out initially.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean,
But yeah.
you both been speaking highly of it. Maybe I should check it out.
It's definitely a lot more fun, quote unquote, than Chainsaw Man. But it is like you're right, Jared. It is heavy. But it's not like heavy like Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just compared to the original one was very happy. Like there wasn't as much of the
Emotions.
Yeah, then all the like crazy stuff that happens to people and like what they're forced to do and their lives become or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely cool. Super juiced. Haven't watched Trigun in years, so to have it back is
Oh, so this is an ongoing
the
thing.
best.
No, there was it's like Cowboy Bebop where there was 26 episodes in the 90s and then one movie. It's almost exactly like Cowboy Bebop. And then it just disappeared. And just like Yoshiro Naita went on to do Blood Blockade, like he did Gungrave. Like the creator of it just went on. He's a manga artist and writer. He went on to do other things, and those got turned into shows, and they were successful. And then after like 20 years, someone was like, "Let's do a Trigun reboot," and he gave them their blessing. Like, and he even said that I don't think he is really involved with it because he tweeted not too long ago that he's like, "I'm loving it. I'm loving watching this. Like, this is wild."
That's cool.
So I don't think he's involved other than collecting checks and allowing them to do it.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
It's cool.
I'll have to check that out. Jerry, did you have
definitely.
anything other than Trigun?
I don't know. Started watching some TV show. I don't remember what it's called, and I cannot think of the actress's name.
Is it on? Where are you watching it?
I don't know.
Trumpet solo.
That was Will Sasso right there.
Gina Rodriguez, her new show. She like sees ghosts and it's like works for a newspaper company or something, and like gets put in charge of being the obituaries. But then they're like hella good because she talks to the dead people and writes.
I've
like,
seen a
really good
commercial for
obituaries.
that, dude.
it's it's a.
Is it like a
that's the
spooky show?
curly hair lady?
It's not spooky.
She's got curly hair. She's in a movie.
Maybe.
What movie is she from?
Not Dead Yet is the
Not dead.
I've seen the trailer for that, Jerry. That looked interesting. It's supposed to be semi-comedy, right? A dark
it's all
comedy? Yeah, like a dark comedy.
Oh no. I think you're thinking of something else. I think I know what you're talking about because this isn't curly hair.
Okay, that's a different show.
I think you're thinking of the woman from like American Pie and stuff.
Yeah.
Natalia something.
She's got her own show that sounds kind of similar to that.
Yeah, a lot of these shows.
Okay.
Similar shows coming out. But yeah, this is, I don't know. It's whatever.
Interesting.
Hulu. Here we go. Hulu.
It's another Hulu guy.
Hulu Voodoo. Other than that, nothing really. I don't think I've set out to watch. Yeah, there's nothing. Want to see that what's it called movie? M Night.
Yeah.
Knock twice at the
Yeah.
door or whatever. But no, nothing new.
Okay.
Oh, saw the a sort of a trailer for Scream 6.
Well, that takes place in your town, bro.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
Not gonna be good.
Have you seen trailers or anything? I've seen stills, but I don't know anything about it.
I mean,
Yeah.
the rumor is no Nev Campbell, right?
Oh.
Yeah, I feel that's bogus. I bet she'll pop up.
And no Courtney. And Dewey's
Courtney's
dead.
in it.
Courtney's in it?
Courtney's in it. Yeah.
Okay.
It opens with her or something. Her face. But I definitely assume Nev is going to at least pop up somewhere. Maybe at the end to be like, all right, they learned their lesson. I'll be back for 7.
Yeah, I mean...
I don't know.
I'll watch. 100%.
Yeah. I'll definitely probably end up seeing it. When does it come out?
I'm not excited, though. I have to say.
Yeah, it's...
Definitely one of my favorite franchises as a child.
March 9th.
For the longest time, Scream was my favorite movie. I love that first.
1, 2, and 3 are all three. One is one of the best movies, but scary movies, but or not even scary, but you know what I mean, horror style movies. But yeah, I don't. This new one, the trailer and stuff, just wasn't doing it for me, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's weird. It really is I'm curious because it's we saw it and then I immediately said to Karina's how are they going to do that in the city? Are they going to chase each other on the subway? I don't get.
Yeah.
Well, they incorporated cell phones and stuff in the last one, so they've already kind of knocked that out of being they've been able to utilize that, which is interesting.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That being in such a large city with so many people and so many police officers and things of that nature, it just seems very far-fetched to believe. The thing about Scream was that it always took place in a night in a small town that took cops a little bit of a second to get to the location. So without that being in play...
Fuck yeah, he's in a bodega and just stabbed a dude. It's pretty real life.
I actually, maybe I did see that. I feel like I have seen. I think I know what scene you're talking about. I think I know what you're talking about.
I just so many of the original
now.
Yeah, so many of the original characters are gone too. That it's they
Isn't
almost
it just Courtney.
Well, and Nev.
I mean, yeah. But if Nev's not in it,
I'm sure there's characters we're not thinking of that are still technically alive. But Jamie Kennedy ain't popping up, and they killed Dewey in the last one. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is 6, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because 4 was whatever, and then 5 was decent. I don't know. I'll check it out when it comes out, but yeah.
Yeah. If it's maybe it's
way.
really good. Yeah, maybe it's really good. Who knows? Does anyone know? I mean, I don't think we have it pulled up. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I was gonna say, is it the guy who directed 5, or did they get someone?
I will tell you.
I think it's someone new.
I'm looking
Okay.
at it. Well, I was looking at the Scream 6 website. Doing it right, boys.
You know what'd be cool is
two
if they gave it to, like-
directors.
Oh wow,
So I don't
the
know.
Wachowskis?
Mm-mm.
No, okay. Oh, the Coens. my bad.
The Wachowskis aren't together no more. Yeah, they broke
Oh,
up.
you're right. That's
Yeah.
right.
So
Yeah.
the first director, he did do the last Scream 5.
Okay.
And then
okay.
he's known for Ready or Not, and then the VHS horror movies, or a segment or two. And the second jabroni, Tyler Gillett. The other guy was Matt something, Benellini.
Okay.
There's more to his name. Oh, okay. So they're a team.
Oh, okay.
They've done the same movies. So yeah, this is their thing. They're doing Scream now. They're the Scream guys.
Well,
Okay.
make it work.
Yeah.
Make it work.
Bettinelli Olpen. Matt Bettinelli Olpen and Tyler Gillett. Maybe it's Gillette. But there's no
Could
E
be.
in Gillett.
Oh.
Either way. All right.
Thinking about Scream 2 is it's almost like Evil Dead in the sense of like by the end you're really rooting for Nev to win. You know who the bad guys are, and that's when the movie really heats up. Is that final whole fight scene?
Yeah.
Especially with what's his name, Shaggy. Dude, he's phenomenal in that scene.
Yeah. For real.
And that's how
For real.
it was. The acting and the writing for Shaggy just was so good.
Yeah.
That really made the whole movie work.
I'm drawing a blank on that actor. Dude,
Jamie
it
Kennedy?
just popped up.
No, Jamie
No,
Kennedy.
no. The guy who played Stu.
Stu, yeah.
Matthew.
I was
Lillard?
Matthew something?
Lillard.
Lillard?
Is it
Yeah,
Lillard
dude.
or
Matthew Lillard?
something like that. Yeah.
Something like that, yeah. He's
he was
he's so
amazing.
good in that,
And
man.
Skeet Ulrich was good as the other guy. Like, yeah, it was a great movie.
I like
That whole
Yeah,
first
Lillard.
cast: Drew Barrymore, Rose McGowan.
yeah.
The Scream One's got a great cast.
Yeah.
David Arquette.
I like 13
Monica.
Ghosts just because that guy's in it.
13 Ghosts is great. Yeah,
Just 'cause
13
that
Ghosts
guy's
is
in
great.
it.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's not. I have the DVD, Nick. If you want to borrow it, I bought it at Rasputin's a couple years ago because I was like,
Hell yeah.
oh, that movie was so dope when we were kids. And then I
Yeah.
watched it again. And I was like, this movie is trash, but like, Homie's really good in it, so it kind of makes the movie work. But like, it's not a good film at all. Like, the monsters look cool though because it's pre-digital.
Monsters look
So
cool, yeah.
it's pre-digital,
Yeah.
so it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Tony Shalhoub, right? Yeah.
He's in as well, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Is that the guy who?
Or
played-
is that The Haunting? Am I thinking The Haunting?
It's the dude that played Monk.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Tony Shalhoub. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally,
Okay.
totally.
Yeah, he was also in that television series with the planes. That sitcom.
Oh,
at the
yeah,
mini
dude. Wings.
Wings. He was
bro.
from. That's what he's originally from.
Wow. Yeah,
He's if I'm not mistaken,
Callback to Wings.
he sells the newspapers in the television show Wings.
I think you're
He's
right.
like he's
And
like
then,
he's like the foreign guy.
yeah, and there's another famous actor from that too. That's like he pops up and stuff. I'm trying to blank on his name, but yeah, Wings, bro.
Wait, scroll down.
Wings is
though,
one of those
Jared,
shows
see the
that like
names.
I feel like I watched that before I even really understood what was happening. You know what I mean? I was like too young to actually get that.
Wait, is it Matthew Harrison? No, Matthew Lillard. There he is. There he is. Matthew
Yeah,
Lillard.
Matthew
Can
Lillard.
we click on
Yeah.
Matthew Lillard just to see what he's been up to the last few years? I'm just intrigued now. Yeah, Shaggy's what I immediately go to, but he was such a good. Oh yeah, SLC Punk.
Oh, he's in Multiverses. That's it. Oh yeah, dude, SLC Punk, dude.
Robot Chicken 9 episodes. Wait, Screen. Oh yeah, voice. Yeah, uncredited because they did flashbacks.
Oh, that's cool.
Also, that was so
They were
stupid that they didn't
voices.
name it just Scream 5. They called it Scream. Stupid. I hate when they do that.
Yeah.
So
And
stupid.
then they go right back to it.
Yeah, because the new one's 6, right? They're calling it
Yeah.
6?
Yeah.
It's so
I
stupid.
think so.
And then now knowing it's the same directors, I almost shun those two dudes. That's already not a good sign for them. Because they're still doing the new one and it's called 6. Maybe that's studio call, but like, who are
I
you to
wonder,
call it
yeah.
Screamed last time, dummies?
So it
Yeah.
does a lot of voice work, is what it seems like.
As Shaggy.
Yeah.
A lot of Shaggy work. It's a shame. It's almost like he got typecasted as Shaggy in a weird way. Like he's got
Fuck,
got the
bro, it's
Mark
probably so
Hamill.
consistent. Yeah.
But dude,
No
he's
wonder.
such a good actor, like a character actor. Like,
Yeah, he's great.
that's a shame.
Who did he
I want to
was?
see when it started.
Steve-O.
Oh, so he literally 13 Ghosts, and then he does that, and then that's the end of his career, pretty much. So 13 Ghosts is like the last movie he does. Kind of like big budget action, or
Kind of looks like it.
Looney
Yeah.
Tunes Back in Action, but that movie wasn't very good.
But yeah, at
That's
least
a
one
live
that
action
kinda
film.
was using his face as like, hey, remember this guy?
Yeah, and a bunch of like
Yeah, I've
lower
never
tier
heard of
films that we've never heard of.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've not heard of it. And then yeah, voice work.
Yeah, it's a shame. I really like that actor, dude. What was that baseball one he did with Freddie Prinze? Summer Catch. Summer Catch. I enjoyed Summer Catch as well. Shout out to that film.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that.
Oh, it's a classic rom-com with my boy Freddie Prinze Jr. Always a big fan, and Mrs. Timberlake. There's Mrs. Timberlake.
Oh yeah.
Jessica Biel. Very foxy in that one. Oh,
Fred Ward, hell yeah.
Brittany Murphy, R.I.P.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she plays the other female love interest kind of role. I think she
Brian
plays.
Dennehy.
I think she plays Matthew Lillard's girlfriend in it. I haven't watched this in a while, but I'm pretty sure.
It's
Wilmer
something
Valderrama.
like he's like dating one, then like gets casted or whatever, recruited for baseball, and then goes to the big city and meets like the other girl. Classic rom.
No, he's the local poor kid who mows the lawns. And it's summer, so it's minor league baseball in a small town where rich people come to visit. I don't know why. I must have watched this with my sister quite a few times. And she's like super wealthy, and he's like the lawnmower boy, but he's trying to get on that baseball team, which is like the summer entertainment for all these rich people who live in like kind of what's that city in Boston that everyone goes to in the summers? You're East Coast,
Martha's
Jared.
Vineyard.
The lake or whatever. Whatever.
Martha's
Doesn't.
Vineyard.
Is that Martha's? Okay, whatever. Yeah, like it's like one of them. Like all the rich people go here for the summer vibe, and it's like she's too good for him. Oh, also, what's his name from that '70s show's in it? He's in that
Yeah,
image.
Wilmer
right?
Valderrama.
Yeah, Wilmer Valderrama. Oh, I can't even say it. Yeah, he's a horrible actor. Probably part of the issue with that '90s show.
Oh yeah, that's right. We were talking about that.
Yeah, he's like the one person that might not have come back. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I had two movies that I watched, one of which I literally finished before we started this. I've been watching TV, but I didn't complete. I'm still midway through the Goldbergs. I'm watching How I Met Your Mother or Father. It's just not the same. They did hint at it's not even a spoiler. In the first episode, at the end of the episode, they show Barney, and they're like, they do the classic. If you ever watched How I Met Your Mother, they do the classic like, but we'll get to that later. And it's like, what? Come on, just give us the Barney episodes now.
Yeah. And Barney's Doogie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Doogie
yeah,
Howser?
and
Okay.
NPH.
Okay.
They honestly, I think for this show personally, I know it's getting good ratings and stuff. I feel like they need one of the original cast to be in it to make this work for me. I'm not digging everybody's. I can't even name everyone off. The only one I can name off is Sophie, which I'm pretty sure is Lizzie McGuire. And Lizzie McGuire's, she's great in it, and we've grown up with Lizzie, so I'm still a fan. But the show as a whole is just kind of whatever. I don't know why I'm bringing up How I Met Your Father so much, but I've been keeping up with that.
Is this still season 1 or is this
season 2 now?
where's...
We're in season 2
okay.
now. Yeah, last year was season 1. Yeah, but they didn't do a full season. I think it was like 12 episodes. The first.
Oh, just to see if there was an audience.
Yeah, and I think they're gonna go heavier this year with it. And then I've been watching what do you call it? Elementary. What is it?
Abbott
Elementary. Elementary. Thank you, Jared. I was
say,
gonna call Albert's Elementary. Abbott's Elementary, and that's just fantastic. If you need,
I put that on my list. Yeah, I haven't started it yet, but I do remember you guys speaking highly of it.
It's the new Parks and Rec.
Okay.
Real quick, I did remember from looking at this. I started the Jason Segel, Harrison Ford shrinking show.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say.
Fantastic.
I just remember you saying that.
HBO
yeah.
or Apple Plus
Fantastic.
or Apple
Yeah.
whatever, Apple TV.
Apple TV, yeah.
I
Hell
need to
it's a good
watch
one.
that, Jer.
Yeah, that's a recommend.
I mean,
Okay.
anything with
Okay.
anything with Indiana Jones, must watch.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm. I like
That's
it.
a great reminder, Jer. That's on my list to watch. How many episodes are out? Or they're not dropping the whole thing, right?
Yeah, I think there's like 5 or 6 out now.
Oh, okay. I definitely need to check that out.
So yeah, there's a good amount, but yeah, it's not done.
Hour long or half hours?
What was half hour?
Okay. Yeah, I need to check that out. That's great.
Yeah, I
then-
like it.
My 2 movies. You mentioned a Batista film coming out. Shyamalan, his new movie is Batista. I had never watched a Batista movie. We know Batista from clearly pro wrestling, where, let's be honest, he wasn't that great. Sorry. Spoilers for the WWE fans out there. I never really liked him. He was a heel, though, so maybe I wasn't supposed to. But I don't know. There's a Booker T story if you want to go out there and read more about him behind the scenes. I don't know. It seems like he wasn't the greatest in that whole atmosphere.
But wait, are you saying Booker T was talking shit about Batista, or Batista was talking shit about Booker T?
I read a whole little thing that said Booker T beat the shit out of him backstage because he was mouthing off.
Wow.
I don't know
Let's
how
go
much
read
truth
this
there is to
interview.
that. Yeah, I don't know how much
yeah, I
truth
gotta
there
go
is to
check
that
out.
or what it is. I don't know if that's just a rumor. I don't know. I just thought it was interesting that recently I read that. But I like Batista. Clearly, he's been a highlight of the Guardians.
Yeah.
But then I was like perusing through I was just perusing through all the streamers. I was looking for a comedy, something light to put on the other night. I'd gotten done filming or whatever, came home, and I just wanted to watch something easygoing. And I saw this, and I instantly was like, My Spy, I think is the name of the film. It's an Amazon original. And I know I was just kind of crapping on Amazon a little earlier. Yeah, he's great in Knives Out as well. That's Knives Out, right, Jerry? That image?
Mm-hmm.
He's great as a side character. But this film, he's full-blown the lead. It's his film. So
I mean, he's on this cover like 7 goddamn times.
yeah, it's literally his movie, Jerry. Like the homie from Hangover makes an appearance. Like there's a couple little cameo kind of appearances. No one big name actors, but a couple cameo little things here and there. It wasn't great, and I definitely think, Batista's probably. I'm not saying that someone can't write a good movie for him. I'm sure there's someone that could write something for him. I just don't think he's necessarily a lead kind of guy. He's way better as a character actor on the side. Kind of the same way I feel about The Rock. We've discussed this here before. I think he kind of has that same thing kind of going for him where he's awesome. But just in the right role, and him being the badass spy protecting the little girl kind of just gets, I don't know, boring after a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then they do a
Yeah.
corny dance ending where he's dancing to some like new age
Oh my god.
Cardi
There's
B
a
song
still
or
of it.
something.
There's a still of it that
Is
like,
there?
straight
Like during the credits, or is it a part
Right
of the
before the
story?
credits.
So in the story, he's dancing.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not.
It's not
That
that
happens too. No, it's on ice. It's the very ending, but it's like a callback to this scene, and they call it
Okay.
back at the end, and it was just like Batista trying to do a funny dance was just a little.
Remember when that was the thing? How comedy movies would end with like a dance thing? That was like
Yeah.
a thing for a minute, for
Well,
like
there
2 or 3 years.
There was one band that always would end those movies too. A lot of those movies would have that same band ending. I can't remember.
Huh? Maybe if I heard it.
Like something about Mary, and a lot of them. I can't. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Oh! Bare Naked Ladies?
No.
No.
You recall what I'm saying, Jerry?
I'm pretty sure.
Wedding Crashers had that same band in it.
With the women.
No, it's
what's
like
the
a
one with
dude.
Kristen
It's like a-
Wiig?
Dan,
it's
the
like a
Dan
dude.
Band or whatever.
Yeah. and he's like always singing funny lyrics and
He's
stuff.
in Starsky and Hutch of like.
Yeah,
He's at-
I
he-
went to
I
the
fucking
candy
need
shop.
you more than
Yeah.
ever. Yeah, he's the
Yeah.
crash band from yeah.
I don't think that's something about Mary either. I think I just made that one up, but
Well, because something about Mary has those dudes with the
Yeah, the
guitars.
two dudes,
like,
yeah,
so
exactly,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
similar, yeah.
yeah. Totally.
But yeah, this movie, you know, if you have Amazon, which most people do because of Amazon Prime, it's worth checking out. It just, I think it was short too. Maybe it's under 2 or just around 2, and it's upbeat, you know, and it's fun. It just wasn't, you know, it's not a home run. It's definitely not a home run. So I watched that, and then the other one I literally just watched was a classic Chevy Chase film, Cops and the Robertsons, 94. It has some classic 90s like vibes that you could not get away with nowadays. For instance, two cops stay at their house on a what do you call it? Stick out. The younger cop ends up hooking up with Chevy Chase's high school daughter.
Jesus.
That would never fly in a movie nowadays.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
in the credits, they do share or show a photo, and it's like, oh, they got married.
Okay. Just to skirt the line, I guess.
They do a bunch of photo credits where it's like photo credits, you know, with like the cop still hanging out with the family after the whole thing has ended, and that's cool. I love it. I love it when they do little things like that where it's like they show you that the movie didn't end there, but we don't need a sequel. Here's your sequel right here in photos, and I like that. But when even like the minute the daughter and the cop hooked up, I was like, wow, this would never fly nowadays.
That's wild, yeah.
Because he's clearly in his 30s. He's a cop, and this is like a high school girl. It was very interesting. It stood out to me. I'll say that.
Yeah.
And so, is Chevy Chase a cop?
Chevy Chase is I want to say he works in what we would consider now to be like the tech industry. Is what it seems like.
Okay.
They live. It looks like they live in the suburbs, and he goes to like SF or New York or Chicago or something major city. But the cops, the old man cop and the younger gentleman, the neighbor, they're staking out his neighbor. He is like a dad who has no respect from his children vibe because he's just like corporate dad, and they're like, "F you, dad." But then they respect these cops who are staying with them, and that's kind of like there's two little storylines going on where the cops are staking out these bad guys, but then there's this drama at home, and Chevy Chase is like, I wish I was a cop, and he's obsessed with like television cops. So it all works out. He's like obsessed with television cops, and now these cops are staying at his house. It's very, it's very 90s corny, and it's just a classic Chevy Chase, vacation style movie with him and a family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not worth, singing high praise about it. It's just your classic Chevy Chaser. I think it's available on HBO Max right now.
I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, and I just happened to have it in my to watch list, and I was like, oh, once again, it's a shorter.
HBO Max.
Jack Palance is the guy that the Joker kills in the '89 Batman, right? This is the gangster that he took over. Is that what? Like,
is that what he's from, Nick? Because that would explain. I know him from something.
I think he's the guy that the Joker worked for, and then Jack Nicholson kills him.
Not this dude, Jerry.
Jack Palance.
That's the other. That's the bad guy in the movie.
Oh, I see who you're talking.
He, Nick D, he is the gentleman who infamously won an Oscar, and when he went up on stage, he did one-handed push-ups.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's like a super...
I have not heard that. That is amazing.
I guess it's super iconic, like...
City Slickers. He's in City Slickers. He's curly.
Oh, and he's in that
God.
Tango and Crash film. He's in that Tango and Crash film that's just crazy terrible. Oh
that's
my gosh.
Sick.
Have you guys ever seen this?
I have, yeah.
Dude, this movie, wow.
Yeah. I kind of want to see this again. I don't really remember, but I for sure have seen it. This is where Stallone's like the nerd, right? He's always he's like he's
Yeah.
the button up one, and Kurt Russell's
So,
the wild
he's
card.
got the ties and
I
stuff.
remember that.
It's
I
so
remember
crazy.
him wearing the glasses and the suit, but I don't actually
Because this is like
remember
right
the movie.
around Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, right? Like this is. I bet one of those is like the next year.
Dude, this movie. We're jumping off base, but
Oh,
this movie
see,
was
they got
crazy.
Good taglines. Two of LA's top rival cops are going to have to work together.
Yeah, they're from
Even
two
if
different
it kills
counties,
them.
I think, or something like.
I'm
one,
into it.
Yeah, one's from like
I wanna
Beverly
watch this
Hills, and
again.
one's from like downtown Los Angeles, and now they got to work together. Yeah,
Love it.
Classic. The other movie, yeah, I mean,
What? They're behind bars?
also just movies where they're smoking cigarettes, like inside outside vibes, are always really interesting. Like you know,
Yeah, because it's a different time. Like that's where,
94.
like we.
But it's still
Yeah,
it's
like-
94. Like it was definitely the fringe end of that kind of film.
Yeah.
You know, so.
But it was unrelated, a buddy of mine sent me, but it just to piggyback on what you were saying, sent me a commercial that was like, "Come to downtown Walnut Creek." It was from 1990, and they showed 680. They showed downtown Walnut Creek. They showed this whole area saying like, "Come on down," and it just blew my mind. Where I was like, "Oh my god!" Like this area used to look so different. I'll find that commercial.
Yeah.
But it was just like a
Yeah.
come to Walnut Creek commercial, yeah. And so yeah, this era of nostalgia I'm obsessed with right now.
You know what's funny? I think
it was on Instagram. I don't know. I saw that too.
Yeah, I wanna say-
Josh sent it to me on Instagram. Josh sent it,
Yeah, I think like Karina or Lexi.
dude.
and yeah, they showed
Dude.
680, and there was like 4 cars on it. That's it. There you go.
Mhm.
It's like Bart had just been built on it.
Hag sent me that.
Dude,
Oh.
yeah.
February 6th, Hag texted me that.
That's probably the same
Yeah.
day Josh sent it to me.
So
Yeah.
it must have made its way on the internet.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
miss those days.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. But yeah, that was the two movies I've watched other than filler sitcom television, like I always do. And then a ton of Dudesy. Shout out to the dudes at Dudesy. Like,
Gotta catch
subscribe.
up at Dudesy. Yeah.
Spread that around. That was one of the things Chad, I think, said in the last episode.
Lock your
Review.
doors. Force people to watch it.
Also, this week's Bad Friends is the Korean episode, and it was fire. If you guys got time for that, Stevie Weeby's on, and 2 other gentlemen. I can't remember their names because Andrew's out of town, and it is a fire
Ooh.
episode.
Okay. Okay.
I think they're in a regrouping situation over there at Bad Friends because they seem to the third seat seems to just be kind of an open door right now.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I watched Bobby on Bobby Kelly's podcast not too long ago, and it was very heavy.
Yeah,
Very sad.
yeah. Bobby's been popping up on a lot of podcasts that I've skipped over because he's
Yeah.
This
Why?
is the Kalila thing and him being now. They finally moved out of the house, which is why I think that the third seat, like Rudy's not gonna really be on Bad Friends anymore. It's kind of the vibe they're kind of selling. Which is kind of disappointing. I always liked having Rudy as the third person. And they got this other girl, this blonde comedian chick from LA, Jet Ski Johnson. She's pretty funny. But yeah, it's like a filler seat now. But yeah, Bobby, I feel like it's just kind of lost for the time being. With he's getting older, and the Kalila thing, I think, is still kind of hitting him heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily that they broke up, but just now they've moved
The
out.
change. Yeah, it's like a whole new thing for him, I imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, because they still lived there for a year after the breakup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But now the whole family's moved out of the house. But, you know, whatever. It's still a funny show. Bad Friends is still my favorite. It's my go-to. You know, Dudesy's really funny. Don't get me wrong. But nothing compares to Bad Friends, in my opinion.
Dudesy's really funny, and Dudesy's also really scary. A lot of the stuff Chad says freaks me out. I'm here for it. I love it.
It
But,
does,
like,
yeah.
Sometimes it's whiplash. Like, sometimes I'm like, wow, that's a really terrifying concept, and then will fart.
Dude,
I'm like,
exactly.
Okay.
That's
Like,
the
you're
thing
like,
is that
okay. Like, yeah.
Will loosens it up, and when Will's doing his
Yeah.
impressions and shit, it just, yeah.
Yeah. I love it. I love Dudesy. Go watch Dudesy.
Yeah. The thing, too, with Dudesy, though, Nick, is that, like, Bad Friends, I actually want to, like, watch.
Yeah, yeah.
Where with like Dudesy, I've really just been like putting it on and listening to it.
Yeah. I mainly put on Dudesy when I'm like lifting, so I'm only looking at it a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Like,
Yeah. Like Bad Friends, I'm like the other night, I literally sat on the couch and watched that full episode, the Korean episode. Yeah, so I mean,
I need to pick back up on the It's Always Sunny podcast. That is a great podcast, but I'm
Yeah.
now like 10 behind. Like, I don't think I've really watched any this year in 2023. But great podcast. Love it.
I'm going to say something, even though we're doing it right now. The Zoom or Discord ones versus actually being there in person, it does make a difference.
With It's Always Sunny?
With me watching it, yeah. With the Always Sunny one, the ones that I've watched.
Oh, I don't even. Oh, I was gonna say, like, I don't even think I've seen that. But you're right. They do that when they're like filming, and like Dennis will be in like, yeah, wow. I forgot
Majority of
about
their episodes are kind of like how we do ours, which nothing wrong with it. Clearly, we're doing it right now.
Yeah.
But Bad Friends having a studio and Dudesy having a studio,
Yeah.
there's something about that where they're in studio and they're actually together. That
Oh my god. Good. My chair just
So
made a
you would've
noise. I
been
thought
there.
it was. I thought
I would've
was
been there,
going
yeah.
Down. I thought I was going down.
It just something works better, you know, when they're actually there.
Yeah.
A bolt fell out. Jesus, chair might break on me.
Be careful, Nick. Be careful, Nick.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, bolt.
Only here on Over the Show.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Well, we've done enough of we've done an hour and 15 minutes of just chit chat
Of house cleaning. Yeah.
of house cleaning. So let's get into the big movie picture that no one seems to like. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. Quantumania, or is it?
Quantumania.
Every time I'm saying that, I'm thinking Dudesy and like WrestleMania. You know, I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
WrestleMania, brother.
Riding on the back of that red and yellow Harley, brother.
Yeah, right. I was just thinking all that. Also, real quick though, and I know I've texted you guys this a couple times, dude. It has sent me down a hole of looking up Randy Macho Man Savage intros. Like,
Oh, dude, that's
speeches and
all
stuff.
I do now. Yeah. Oh, his promotions. Yeah.
Dude, Randy
like,
Macho
dude,
Man.
his interviews with Arsenio Hall are amazing.
Oh, when he's sitting in the seat, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
I watched that recently.
I got obsessed with Macho Man
Dude,
after
The
and to a
Macho
lesser
Man
extent,
interviews.
Hulk promos. I'll watch some Hulk promos,
But the
Macho
Macho
Man
Man
was-
ones are so
yeah.
good, dude. So
he
good.
was the king. He was the king.
He's so good. Real quick too on the wrestle thing. I know we're about to get in Quantumania. I don't know. Did you guys see Jeff Hardy DUI again, like Dunzo again?
Dude, no, god damn,
Dude,
like
at this point, he deserves to just get the complete boot, and they should just banish him at this point.
yeah, it's unsafe. It's so sad. Like he's gonna hurt someone. You know what's really sad though? His social media, the last couple of weeks has been super positive and super like on the right trend. So to hear that, I'm like, no,
This is a few days ago, like maybe last week.
That's terrible, dude.
Have you
It's
seen
like,
that
yeah, dude,
match with Sting, where he's clearly drunk?
Oh, dude, yeah, like oh yeah, or on tails, or, yeah, like
And
he's
Bischoff
not
comes
right.
back and like whispers in
Yeah.
both their ears, and then the fans
Yeah.
are booing. And as Sting's walking away, he turns to the fans. He's like, "I'm disappointed too."
Yeah.
And it's just
Because
like,
he was
ah.
Hardy was supposed to win that match, and Sting at the last second was like, "I'm just ending it because this is on."
No. That's not how it goes down. Steve Bischoff runs out before the match even starts, whispers in both their ears. And
Oh
then
well, yeah, I just know that Sting
then
was,
Sting does
Hardy
one-
was supposed to win that match.
Sting
yeah.
does one move. Does the what was Sting's move? Where he grabs you and you're next to him, and then
I
he
don't
face
remember
slams you down or whatever. You guys remember it though? I'm sure
It's
if
like
you
a
saw
reverse
it.
DDT.
Yeah, like a reverse DDT kind of vibe. Yeah, and then he just
Yeah.
covers them. And then Sting's so pissed that he just like leaves. I watched it just the other day because when I saw the
Yeah.
Jeff Hardy
Yeah.
news, I was like, wait, is this? Because it was like, oh, an ongoing situation for Jeff Hardy over the years or whatever. And I was like, really? I didn't know that. So I just watched all this for the first time the other day.
Yeah.
Totally off subject. We were just about to get into Ant-Man and Wasp.
It's been like 10 years of it. Like yeah, he's been.
I know you two
Yeah.
were big fans.
Dude, I love the Hardy, but they're
Yeah.
my favorite tag team. They're my favorite
I
tag
know
team.
that was Jerry's. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big Sting guy, so that's also why I bring that up. I was a huge
Yeah, yeah.
Sting fan growing up. WCW, bro. Anyways, back into Quantumania. It's good that we talked this much because I don't think anyone really cares about this. The thing I'm going to say off tops is I think the Marvel time period has ended. Even with our friend group, unfortunately, It's a shame, in my opinion, because I personally think they're finally to a point where it really, to me, looks like comic books when you flip it open. Like, I've never opened a comic book and just seen, like, seen Captain America and Iron Man just walking around Earth, chit-chatting and stuff, and going to car races and fighting Whiplash.
Eating shawarma. Yeah.
Yeah, eating shawarma. Nick D.
Yeah.
Nick D.
Yeah.
I think I made that joke to Sadui. Now they're finally to a point, yes, it's all digital. And I'm the first one to not like digital. I love small miniatures. I love clay animation. I love all of that. And I know this Quantumania movie and the Doctor Strange, it's literally just a green screen vibe. You know, but so is your Baby Yoda, everybody. So let's get that straight real quick. That your Mandalorian show that so many people seem to love, that I'm not the hugest fan on personally, also is just a giant green screen vibe. It just looks a little better with sand and shit. I absolutely love this movie, but I've been hook line for Paul Rudd as Ant-Man since this has all started.
Since Clueless.
Yeah,
I've been on the Rudd train since Clueless.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
totally. But yeah, I love it. I love Paul Rudd in, like, I really do enjoy him in these roles. I think it's a shame that this movie's getting a lot of slack. I think it's cool because it picks right up and you're thrown, kind of like Doctor Strange. It's just like, here we go. Because, dude, we're so far into these Marvel movies, we don't need a slow build-up anymore, guys. Like, it's the ball has already. It's like comics, right, Nick? It's already going.
Exactly. I've been saying that for 10 years. I'm like, I don't need origin stories anymore. Just jump in. Like, I'm like, we're not stupid. We'll get it. We'll figure it out.
Even
you know
with Kang. Even with the Kang thing, it's like, and I hear people, and I'm going to jump right into spoilers right now. And I'm sorry, Jerry, but I've heard a lot of people's beef with the whole Kang thing, Nick D, is that he dies too easily or whatever. Okay, he clearly isn't dead because with the whole how they show MODOK, right? Clearly, that doesn't kill you.
Yeah.
So if you're worried about that, and number one, it's that version of Kang. There's a million versions of Kang, as we've already,
Exactly. Like, it almost, like, doesn't even matter.
It doesn't even matter, number one.
Yeah. Because I'm going to call it now. One of two things is either going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
They're all going to fuse into one Kane, or one Kane's going to kill all the other Kanes. At the end of the day, there's going to be one Kang. It doesn't really matter which one they're in. Who it is, I mean. You know what I mean?
I think it does matter, but yes, at the same time, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those two. Last man standing, or they all fuse.
Dude, when he does that, like, okay, first off, two people are like, oh, he doesn't do much or whatever. First off, he's killing tons of people in this film. He kills first they do a flashback, a short flashback of him wiping out tons of people. He's straight
like galaxies, like universes.
Ant-Man says something about Thor, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you mean that long-haired guy? Yeah, I killed him many a times, homie. We've done this battle. You know." He's like, "I've done this before, dude."
He's done it so much that he's like, I'm not even gonna bother to learn your name. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's like, like it's nothing to him. Like,
and I'm digging Jonathan. I can't remember his last name. Yes, I share the same first name.
Majors.
Jonathan Majors. Yeah. He is eating up the scenery. I'm enjoying every second of this dude as Kang. I'm loving it. You know, there was multiple times throughout this movie I turned to BK and was like, dude. You know, it's just like, dude, because I was just enjoying it. I will say too. You know, and if you guys know me, and I know you two do, my favorite scenes in even the Star Wars film is when you get these big scenes with tons of different non-humanoids.
Yeah.
And this movie has a ton of that. So, of course, I was like, you got all different kinds of weird-looking alien folk. Just some really interesting-looking people, too. Things, we'll say.
I saw it in IMAX, and some of those shots of, like, just the bars or that restaurant with Bill Murray, like, it's amazing. Like, the little details
when he
of
throws
the table,
it and that monster gets big.
Yeah, like, it was such a, it's, like, even if it is all digital, it's like, God damn, this looks great. Like, it's very pretty to look at. Like,
I don't know if it'll hold up when it gets home, though.
That nothing ever does. You're right. Yeah, nothing ever does.
But, man, I enjoyed the hell out of it, personally. Now, it was my first watch.
Yeah. I've only seen it one time too.
But I mean, comparing this to Black Panther, and I don't want to throw shade at Black Panther. I don't want to sit here and be like, comparing this to Black Panther, though, you got to be crazy. But like, man, this was a more upbeat and fun time. And Black Panther had an awesome bad guy too, an
Yeah.
awesome bad guy who was really cool and visually really cool looking. But man, Kang, if we're comparing it to Thanos, dude, I mean, I don't think there's much personally of a comparison.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Thanos, like in all those films building up to Endgame, he's sitting in a chair one time. We see his legs another time. Like, we see people talking about him, his little sidekicks.
Yeah.
Where Kang is like, my favorite's when he shoots those 3 lasers and does like a
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because I do think like Thanos was kind of like a roadmap for Kang, because I think one of the things I think is worked really well for Thanos was that, like, even though there was no screen time, they spent a lot of time talking about him and building up that he's this presence. In this one, it's not tell, don't show, it's show. And I actually do appreciate that it's like, oh, here's not people talking about Kang. Here's Kang being scary. Like,
Kang has no friends.
Yeah.
Kang
Like,
has
Kang is
no
great.
lackeys, you know?
Yeah.
Even MODOK, who's supposed to be his lackey, is like, and real quick,
Terrified of him, yeah.
Jerry, I got to do this to you, but the way that they bring in MODOK and having him be,
You already saw it.
okay,
Like,
okay,
Yeah, I'm looking at shit right now.
having MODOK be the guy from the original Ant-Man movie and how they explain how that happened was so kind of like perfect, you know, like. I really like the MODOK show with Patton Oswalt doing the voice and everything. And originally I was like, man, that's a bummer that they can't bring Patton Oswalt in as the voice.
I agree.
Because remember in one of the episodes, did you guys finish MODOK, the show?
I did. I loved it.
They did one episode where they actually had him in the helmet thingy. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
at
Oh,
all?
yeah. Totally.
And I was like, oh man, like it kind of worked. Like you could kind of do that. But like this worked so much better that like I had no problem with the way that they did MODOK.
Yeah.
And when they show him naked from behind being put into the costume was so cool.
That scene, that picture has been all over my Twitter since opening night. Like the internet loves that.
Yeah.
That shot,
Yeah.
Of his little butt. Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. It jumps right into it, kind of like the Doctor Strange movie, but a little bit better in my opinion. And my favorite part was how when it ends, how Paul Rudd just still doesn't know if he made the right decision, and his internal monologue is like, well, that's for another Paul Rudd to figure out kind of vibe is so funny, but also spooky. And it definitely builds up this whole, holy shit, like Kang is coming for all of the Avengers and it's going to go down soon.
It's brutal only in hindsight, I guess. Well, no, it's brutal going through it, is that we're 4 Marvel movies in, and we're I guess 5. We're number 4. And we now phase 4 has finally started. Eternals, Doctor Strange, Black Panther.
5.
What am I forgetting?
No, I thought
phase 5.
Phase 5. Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Phase 5.
That it's like the plot is finally moving forward, and that's what makes this movie like. If anything was in any of those other movies, those movies would be better. It's like we're not spinning our wheels anymore. It's like, oh, we're going somewhere. Like, okay.
I think the timeline's effed up, and they're doing that on purpose because that's what all this is about. Is that the timelines are all messed up? So we don't even know if the Doctor Strange movie takes place before or after this yet.
Yeah, exactly. There's no grounding.
So I think the big issue Marvel really has right now is they're going a little too deep of cuts for the average person, and they're losing a lot of people because they're going, the multiverse theory is a little, it's hard to understand, and it's really, really big. And I think that's another reason why a lot of people are kind of falling out at this point. And they're just, it's burnout, dude. It's been
That's what I think it is. I think
long.
we're season 6 of The Walking Dead right now. You know what I mean? It's like no one cares. Like I like you were saying that you've been talking to people and they're either like, I don't like this movie,
and reviews.
or they're like not interested. I literally don't know anyone who's seen this movie besides you.
BK.
Oh well, yeah, okay, so yeah, but like, you know what I mean? Like no one has seen this movie or cares. It's not even they're like, nah, I don't want to see it because I don't like that stuff anymore. They're like, oh, I didn't even that movie's out. Their response. I was talking to my cousin about it the other day, and she was like, "Oh, I didn't even know there was a third."
Yeah, yeah. And the reviews are real bad, so a lot of people are just gonna check out. Because I hate to say it, a lot of people live and die by what the reviews or what Rotten Tomatoes gonna say, and you know what? They're right a lot of times.
I disagree. I think Rotten Tomatoes always. Rotten Tomatoes
Okay.
never liked a movie I like.
I won't argue with that. You on that, Nick.
Yeah.
But when there's a movie that I don't know about, I do use it too. But when it comes to
yeah.
Marvel, I'm not gonna make my basis off what these people are saying.
Exactly.
Because I like comics.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Like
I like comics. I'm a nerd. Like that's how it is. So.
Because like whether or not a movie works for me, this movie was still written with me in mind. You know what I mean? Like, like I am the target audience for these movies, and maybe they don't always land. Like, you know, I've made it very clear I didn't really like the Venom movies, but they were shooting for me. They were trying to get my attention.
And you know, I have to say, I saw it opening night. I saw it with Beaks. Me and Beaks have been going to these movies now for quite some
10
time
years.
together.
Yeah.
I think that we're also, me and Beaks got this whole thing where we're both so hyped off of it that we're like building off each other and how like excited and juiced we are, and we're walking out of there chit chatting about it, and the car ride home, all we're doing is talking about what we think's gonna happen next and this, that, the other, and I love all of that.
Yeah,
you know?
me too.
And that's also what kind of bums me out that like, I'll throw his name out there, and hopefully he's gonna watch this. That Seduce checking out, it bums me out in a way. I'm like upset at him for checking out. I'm like, God damn it, Seduce, this is our thing all together. But I also understand it's a lot to take in. It's a lot to take in, but
it is.
Yeah,
man, I really enjoyed it. I mean, I gotta see it begin. I want to say that I put it at least in. I'm gonna say B. I don't want to go A. And I can't say S because it's not that.
I do think. I'm right with you. I think I'd give it a B too. I do think it's my favorite Ant-Man movie. I think the Ant-Man movies have gotten better.
I really like the original one. I really like that first one.
I think the original one is great. I love how they add Wasp into even if let's say 1 is better than 2. I like all of the choices of 2 of like bringing in the quantum realm, bringing in Wasp. And now for this one to kind of like build, it feels like, again, I think it's the only trilogy in Marvel, the MCU, that has all 3 are the same writer, director, and cast, right? Like,
I think
usually, like, and I feel that in this one. I'm like, I still think the Captain America trilogy is the best trilogy in MCU, but
that's a lot of cameos.
Ant-Man's up there. Like, Ant-Man it might be my second favorite trilogy.
The thing that this has going for it. The thing that has going for it more than Spider-Man, more than Doctor Strange, more than Iron Man, more than all these other dudes, is that it's Ant-Man and the Wasp through and through. Yes, there's old man Ant-Man, but they don't need cameos of Black Widow or you know. I mean, look, Captain America, you got Iron Man, Ant-Man, Black Panther, you got
introduction of Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, I mean, that's not fair. That's not.
Exactly.
That's an Avengers film. And then with Iron Man, you had Nick
Black
Fury,
Widow,
Nick Fury,
Hawkeye, Nick Fury.
You know, I mean, a lot of more cameos and stuff. And he just fights himself. Now, granted, like that is
they all kind of do that, but
yeah. I mean, they did do that in the first Ant-Man, heavily. You know, Wasp or whatever. What was it? Wasp?
Yellow Jacket.
Yellow Jacket. Yeah, I mean, it was identical. We all know. But like this one, I mean, you got MODOK, which is completely different.
Yeah.
And then you had Kang, which is just like when he suits up in this one, and when he finally, dude, Kang is just cool, man. When he comes into the jail cell and he's talking to them, I was just like, wow, like it almost had like a Kylo Ren, Darth Vader-y vibe going.
Yeah,
you know, he's got that like. Mainly because he's got the cape and the whole thing going, but yeah, like it just,
and also just the Kylo Ren, like how he's very quiet and still until he's explosive, you know, like like you can just tell he's just barely in control, like just barely, And
this is not the right time to say this. I really liked Kylo Ren until I didn't like Kylo Ren until I didn't like him.
I think that like even regardless of like you like those 3 movies or not, I think all of those characters. Like, maybe they didn't all get justice. I think Poe deserved a better arc than he got. But I loved Rey. I loved Kylo.
Yeah.
I loved, like, I think all of the new characters are great. Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole story for another time about how I feel like that it's a shame that they're all sour on the whole thing because it would be
Yeah,
so cool to
exactly.
see them actually do what the other cast didn't, which is make the movies at the right time period.
Yeah.
10 years from now, they should be back together. And I hope that is still a possibility, but we could talk about Star Wars and that in a different time period. A couple things
got Mando coming up.
a couple things I wanted to say to you, Nick, about this. I saw on the internet. One of which being the portals in the end. I'm really sorry, Jerry. I'm gonna go deep.
Oh,
cuts
yeah,
now.
yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I think me and you even talked about this already.
Yeah.
Is the same portal that Mr. Fantastic uses in the Doctor Strange movie. It comes up from above. It's a square. That's
Yeah.
the same thing that they show Kang, who is his grandfather, technically.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Something,
I
something
watched
like
something.
That, yeah.
I'll give the shout out. I watched New Rockstar as soon as I got home. I watched the whole little breakdown where they showed all the little Easter eggs. So, head over to New Rockstar and let them explain it to you. I can't. But there's some really cool little cameos like that I was like, damn, that's what that is. And like all the different Kangs that we see in that major Kang shot and like how like all of them are retconned from other bad guys through like the last 70 years of Marvel.
Yeah.
And that's so cool to me. I know that's some real nerd deep cuts, but I thought that was so cool. And the other thing I saw that I just saw earlier today is at the end of the movie when he's walking down the San Francisco streets and he has that inner monologue, Ant-Man.
Mm-hmm.
The same people walk by him multiple times.
Whoa.
Which means the timeline is
Yeah.
effed up. Like
Yeah.
something is wrong.
I love it. Amazing.
And I didn't catch that when I saw it. I only saw that on the internet. So if I see the movie again,
yeah.
I'm definitely going to be looking out for that part, which I think is interesting. I like I said, and I'll say it one more time, is that it is very confusing how this timeline stuff is working out. So I totally get that they're going to lose a lot of fans. And I do kind of think by the time they get to this last Avengers movie, I kind of hope they're ready to just leave it at a point where it could just be left. I don't think they'll end it, but they should. It should be like a soft ending to where if you're really a nerd, we're going to continue. I mean, let's be honest. They kind of should. I think I said this to you, Nick. They kind of should have done that with Endgame, where that kind of should have just been the kind of soft ending.
Yeah.
Give it a 10-year time break.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of money, and it's not just money.
Yeah, it's printing money, yeah.
Well, it's not just money. The thing is, money from the movies. It's action figures and the other.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and it's something even bigger than that. It's the theme parks. They've literally changed part of California Adventure to being Marvel. I think they've done the same down in Florida. That's big movements, Making those rides is real money, and you can't just make those rides for a couple of years. Those rides got to stay there for indefinitely, possibly. Yeah. I mean, California has changed up a lot over the years, but if you look at the other theme park, Disneyland, dude, Star Tours is still there. It's not like they opened Star Wars Land and they ripped out Star Tours. Yeah. They're on complete opposite sides of the property pretty much. And they didn't, they're not touch. To my understanding, there's no rumor of them being like, okay, well, now that we have Star Wars Land, we're ripping out Star Tours.
Yeah.
I could see that happening. I'm not going to deny that I think that could happen a little bit further down the line. But my point being is that Spider-Man ride that they just made, the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, those things are still really new in the grand scheme of it. So they kind of got to keep doing all this. And like when you go there too, they got all the characters walking around. Whatever movie just came out, that character's got a whole little thing going on. So, I mean, I think that they're in a situation where it's more than just the movies. And it kind of sucks in a way because the movies are kind of taking a hit because of that.
Yeah.
And that's a personal theory. I got nothing to back that. I'm just made that up in my own little mind.
Well,
here.
I mean, Disney's never gonna stop. Like that's just how Disney. I mean, they're redoing now their old catalog and they're making new things. Like Disney goes in all directions. They're like renew the old, remaster the old, also create new things. Like Disney just is a machine. And as a comic fan, I am glad that it is like, I want more comic book movies. So I'm like, well, at least Disney's going to do that. Disney's not going to let me down. Like, yeah. And so hopefully they're good. But yeah.
I think we'll see the end of all of the dudes and chicks we know. And maybe
by 2030. Yeah.
By the end of the next Avengers.
Yeah, I think what you want is coming. But it'll
don't
be a
necessarily
close
want it.
of... Well, no, not even what
But
you
you know
want,
what I mean?
you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think by like 2030, all of these actors and everyone will be done, and it'll be the Kamalas and the Young Avengers. And
I think it's going to be Fantastic Four and X-Men. I think you're right. It's going to be the young ones, but I think that their new backbone will be the Fantastic Four and X-Men.
I mean, and again, that only makes me more excited because at the end of the day, if you were like Avengers, Fantastic Four,
if they get the right actors,
I'd be like only X-Men. I don't even like. As much as I love Avengers and Fantastic Four, but I'm like, I'm here for X. This is why I'm here. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, bye, Avengers. If that's what it takes to get to X-Men, bye. Good riddance.
I mean, I hate to say it. I'm kind of with you on that because that's what we kind of grew up with in the 90s was X-Men.
Exactly. Jim Lee, man.
Like, but I have really enjoyed getting to know these other characters because I never was a Hulk guy. I never was an Ant-Man guy at all. I was totally into the X-Men. I did love Spider-Man growing up. I had Spider-Man gear. I watched the cartoon. I was big on Spider-Man. But I don't think he's going anywhere. Even if Tom Holland goes, I think that just means we're gonna get Miles Morales. You know what I mean? Like I think there's room for Spider-Man to grow. So I think Spider-Man's going to keep going. But even Iron Man, it's like I never liked Iron Man up until Robert Downey Jr. took that role on.
I mean, famously, Iron Man wasn't that big. I mean, he was always a star, but he didn't sell comics the way like Captain America or Hulk did until Robert Downey Jr. Like Iron Man was a little niche. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
So I mean, it's cool what they've done with these. Even Doctor Strange. Like these are some random characters they've really made into cool. Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, it doesn't get weirder.
I didn't know about Guardians before that. Like, I mean, I knew about them, but I'd never read a single issue.
I knew about Rocket Raccoon and stuff, but I didn't understand it. And it's awesome what they've done with it, but I do think it's kind of time for that to take a backseat. So, and not for everyone. This is a for everyone call. I think it would be better for them to do it for everyone if they did that now.
Yeah. Again, like you blew it up into this big thing, and now it's like focus back on the little guy again. Like bring back that like Iron Man 1 mentality. Bring that back. Don't make a movie for everyone. Make it for the hardcore base.
I think they're trying with some of the stuff. Like with
Quantumania does feel like it. Yeah, Quantumania felt like we're giving you MODOK, we're giving you Cat. You know what I mean? Like that was deep cuts.
Deep cuts. The MODOK was like deep cuts.
Yeah.
I've always liked MODOK. I've always thought he's such an interesting character, just visually too. That it's really cool to see him pull that one off.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, Nick, I'm here for it no matter what, and I know you are too, and I know Beeks is as well. I just think it is a little bit of a shame that like they're not going to be able. I think they're. I don't want to say they're not going to be able to, but it does seem it's going to be a lot more difficult for them to get the general public in the theater now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Star Wars is in that same. I think Star Wars has done that too now. Like, it's Star Wars' goodwill has kind of left the building, and they're in a situation similar to this. I think that Mandalorian and I don't know if Andor helped, but I think Mandalorian has helped, like, kind of bring back a little bit, which is based off cuteness of one character. Let's be that's really, if they kill Baby Yoda, you think anyone's watching season 3? You know what I mean? Like. I don't know.
Yeah. Because to me, it feels like Mando is the thing that they're like, let's get new people who don't watch Star Wars, and let's get kids. Mando's like the new thing, and Andor feels like let's give something to the hardcore people.
Yeah.
Like like that thing of Disney going like one step in the past, one step in the future, and I feel like they're kind of saying like, well, let's see who pulls ahead. What does better? Is it like right now Mando's in the lead. Like Mando is crushing it. So I think we get more of that vibe in the future.
Although I liked Andor way better.
Personally, me too.
Way
me too.
better, but
what I'll say, at least with Marvel, because it's like I like the Star Wars stuff, both of those. With Marvel, because as they've stated that they're like, oh, this is our roadmap to this. For me, it's just like, all right, what's the payoff? don't need these in between stuff. I'll check
Yeah.
them out later. Like I like Paul Rudd, I like this, but it really is just like give me the 2-3 movies that are leading up
Yeah.
to like what you're saying, Tubes, of like what's the thing that's going to end these characters movie runs, and then we go on to like you guys are saying the Marvels, blah blah blah, all the new characters that it's just like, all right, well, what's that event? Now seeing how from Iron Man to Endgame worked, it's just like, all right, well, what are the Endgame movies? What are the ones I need to
Yeah.
watch where it is a thing?
Exactly.
And like this one, at least maybe it's my part with marketing, not paying attention. It did come across as like, this isn't one of the important ones.
Oh, this is the important one.
But it wasn't marketed that way
Yeah.
to where it's like
That's- yeah.
I didn't go see it, but
Yeah.
but it's like I like all the actors in this, and you guys are saying it's cool, so it is just like, oh, I should see it, but I definitely the like knowing this is going to lead to something down the road, it's just like catch me there.
I think it
Yeah,
is. I think it is
exactly.
marketed that way, Jer, but you don't realize it because Kang's right
Yeah.
there on the poster, right? But because Kang isn't being built up as much as Thanos was, he
Yeah.
is, but in a different way that you're not
I
realizing how
exactly.
important
I
Kang
didn't
is.
finish. I didn't finish
I was about to
Loki
say.
right when they introduce him, and a lot of the other stuff I didn't necessarily keep up with. So exactly,
It's
like
Loki and this are the two to watch. To point out,
But
to
it's
you.
like you said, though, they in this run they kind of have lost me in a bit. It's just a bit of like, whatever.
Because
I'll catch it.
the one I was forgetting was Shang-Chi, Eternals, Thor, Black Panther, Doctor Strange. 5 fucking movies.
Miss Marvel.
And, how
And I
many,
saw
and then
those.
how
Miss
many
Marvel,
shows
Loki.
Yeah,
just
She-Hulk.
to move the story along?
Okay,
Loki's
I saw
the
all of
only
those.
one that moved the story along.
Loki and so far Ant-Man are the
Yeah,
only
yeah.
two that are
Yeah,
really
Loki.
pointing out what is going on. Now, granted,
Loki sort of introduced it. Yeah.
but I will say though, Jerry, we don't know too because at the end of Doctor Strange, that whole little scene he has, not the whole movie as a whole probably doesn't really matter, but it
When
does.
Charlize pops up or
Yes,
whatever.
that matters probably. We don't even know yet. The other thing is that movie pretty much is just to almost introduce what's her name, because her power alone matters. So it's the weirdest movie. Like, if you really look at Doctor Strange as just an introduction to America Sanchez, then that matters because America Sanchez clearly her abilities, and that's another thing. Her abilities are so bizarre, just like the timeline scenario. It's hard for a normal person to wrap their mind around. Oh, she can jump through timelines. Why is that important? Well, you don't really know yet, but clearly she is super important.
Yeah.
And like that movie doesn't really matter as a whole, other than the fact that she has that ability. That's gonna matter that she has that ability. That's like the only takeaway from that other movie in a weird way.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like how
Yeah.
Ant-Man 2, that movie doesn't really matter except for the fact that it introduces the quantum realm, which is what introduces our first Avenger to Kang. Like, it's crazy that like Ant-Man 2 doesn't matter other than it's the America Chavez of like, we're introducing this thing that's going to be important in like
Down
a
the
year.
line. Down the line.
Yeah.
I agree.
They do that with their sequels. It's interesting how they kind of like, they're like, this is just a stepping stone movie. We're just getting past
The thing is that they're treating these movies like TV, and that's weird for people. They don't really understand it. But at the same
it's a
time, to
schedule we're
me,
not
it's
used
like
to.
if you were like Doctor Strange is going to be a TV show for 2 seasons, that would have been a lot to watch just to learn that America Sanchez has that power.
Yeah.
So it's easier to take it in a 2-hour a window as a movie, but I don't think people are really understanding that yet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just treat this like TV, in a weird
Yeah.
in a weird way. Just treat it like TV, but
Yeah.
it's not TV, and that's weird too. But they also have to treat it like a movie because that's how you get the big budget. If they treated it like TV, they wouldn't have this giant budget to accomplish this 2-hour movie. So I don't know. The whole scenario is. It's weird. The whole scenario is weird. But we're almost at 2 hours, so we should wrap it up. But like, it's worth it's worth checking out.
I think it's the sorry Joe, sorry.
I was going to say, I think at some point they'll open it up to a point where I mean, I think it'd be cool if they could open up to a point where it is like the comics, where it's like, oh, we have these ongoing stories or whatever, but also, by the way, here's just a one-off with Hugh
Yeah.
Jackman as Wolverine doing stuff,
Love
and
it.
just that the visual entertainment catches up with like the or moving whatever catches up with the like paper one of just like, oh, we now have all the characters, there's crazy storylines, so we're just gonna start throwing stuff at you that either connect and don't. So hopefully they get
That's
there.
what I'm looking forward to. That's when I think it'll be at the golden age of comic.
What do you call it at WrestleMania or at one of the pay-per-views? Okay, before they have the big match, they play that little highlight reel,
The sizzle reel, yeah.
the sizzle reel of how these two dudes beat
The road to WrestleMania,
And
and
they
it goes
show-
back to the beginning of the year. Yeah,
of
it goes back to
these-
the last WrestleMania. Yeah,
of these two dudes beefing. It's almost like I hate to say it, like the Marvel movies almost need one of those. So if Jerry wants to watch Ant-Man, Quantumania, he gets a little thing, a 5-minute little thing where they just showed you the important shit, and then boom, Ant-Man Quantumania starts.
yeah. Disney Plus should be
feel-
doing that. That's
Disney
a great
Plus
idea.
should be
Disney
doing
Plus
that.
should be doing that.
Yeah,
But I feel like Alamo does that. I feel like those
they do.
Oh,
Okay,
that's
yeah,
cool.
Alamo does do
kinda
that.
give
That's
you,
cool.
Alamo does do that. Yeah, they do-
sometimes
yeah.
they might give you a quick little like, oh, by the way, because I'm pretty sure, was it Spider-Man? They kind of did that. They
We
did
went
a
and saw
quick
something there. They did,
little-
right, Jerry? Yeah.
Yeah, there was something where they were just like,
Oh, never mind. I was thinking we went
let's,
to the Alamo for that Tarantino movie. I'm tripping.
We went to the Alamo for a bunch of those, Nick D, because we got all the cups.
Oh yeah, we saw Infinity War. That's what it was.
Dude, we
That's
saw a
the cup I
bunch
got.
of them there.
And we got Guardians. We saw the Guardians 2 and Infinity War. Those are the two I went to. I think
I thought we saw Endgame too. No, didn't we? We saw Infinity and Endgame there.
you're right. We saw Endgame there. You're right.
Yeah. Well, we saw. I
Yeah.
think me, you, and BK saw Endgame a couple times, but
Yeah, because we
Yeah.
also went to the veranda for that. That might have been the first movie I saw at the veranda. Actually, is Endgame.
I saw Black Panther the first time. I know. Yeah,
yeah.
we saw. I think we all saw Black Panther the first time there.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. That does make sense because that probably came out in like what October, and then Endgame was December. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't know, Jerry. Jerry, I won't talk shit if you don't see it in theaters. I do think it's a theatrical film because the digital stuff always seems to look a little bit better on a big screen than when they put it at the home movie version of it. I kind of felt the same way with Doctor Strange. I think it looked a lot better in theater than it does at home.
Yeah.
I almost worry about this movie not having that home watchability. But Paul Rudd is just
Yeah, I was gonna say
America's
everybody loves
sweetheart.
Paul Rudd, so for that
Yeah.
reason alone, I'm pretty sure it'd be like, Karina, let's go see Ant-Man.
he's got a
Yeah.
couple lines, Jerry, that I know you're gonna laugh at. Like he talks about Captain America, and he's like, "I would never fight Captain America," and the way he says
yeah.
it is just so.
Yeah, classic. Paul.
Yeah, it's great. And the whole real quick, and I know Nick D said this to me too, is the whole they use ants and like ants are gonna kill Kang or whatever. What's the old Ant-Man's name? The original Ant-Man.
Hank Pym.
Hank explains that these ants
Mhm.
have been. I don't need to go super into it. He explains it to you people. So
Yeah,
listen to
yeah,
what
yeah.
Hank Penn says. He breaks it down pretty good in there. Okay, so
As to why that won't happen.
no, why it does happen.
As to why that's not a stupid idea.
Yeah, why it's not stupid. Yeah, exactly, Nick.
You-
Oh, okay.
Ant-Man kind of gets one of those of like, what the fuck is Ant-Man? It's like, and then Hank Pym's like, let me tell you what Ant-Man's gonna do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? He's a great actor, and it's so effing cool that they're able to incorporate him and have him be involved in it. It's the only superhero we have that has like the superhero itself has his own little history inside the
Yeah.
timeline, and it's so cool that they're doing that. You know,
Yeah.
like that. None of the rest of them are really getting that. I mean, they're kind of doing that with Captain America with the TV show and how there was the other black Captain America and how he was done dirty.
I am looking forward to that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's interesting
Yeah, yeah.
on its own, but like
Yeah.
it's not this. It's different. This is a little bit more
Yeah.
upbeat. So
And it's like I also just kind of like the idea of this like 70s superhero that we don't really see a lot of, but we just know that he was a badass. Like I like him character in the MCU. Yeah.
my last two things I want to say, because I just got to get them out, is I did think that when the Kang was when Ant-Man and Kang are fighting towards the end, which is in the trailer, so there's not really a spoiler that they fight at the end. I did think like, oh, they're gonna get stuck in the quantum. I think I pitched this to you, Nick, and I thought like, oh, this is a perfect opportunity to do the same thing they did with Endgame, where the portal opens and you see Black Panther coming out of it, and you're like, he's been gone. We haven't seen him. Here he comes. And I thought like, oh, they're gonna do that kind of thing with Ant-Man, and I kind of felt like they missed an opportunity there. But then again, I don't know what's coming up.
And and like you were saying, I wouldn't be surprised if they filmed a version of that. And maybe they're like, well, let's see. Like maybe I'm sure that thought crossed their mind. Like, yeah, maybe they filmed it.
And I think I think you brought this up to me, Nick, was the whole Bill Murray. Bill Murray felt a little underutilized.
Yeah, I almost seemed weird.
There's got to be an extra scene with him. Like, I really feel like there was a post-credit scene. I think the post-credit scenes are a little effed up. I think that the middle post-credit could have been the end post-credit. We didn't need to see Loki at all. And then
I didn't. Yeah.
A chance for Bill Murray to have a joke.
I think you're exactly right. I think the last scene was supposed to be Bill Murray, and then they cut it, and they're like, do a Loki trailer. You know what I mean? Like, I think something was removed, and then because that Loki thing,
it's from the TV show.
Yeah, we've already talked about this. It's not like they're like, let's film a little Loki thing. They're like, that's a Loki TV show clip that they just spliced.
I think so too. Yeah, I do agree with you on that, Nick. I mean, maybe we're wrong about that. I don't want to say 100%. I do think there was a thing for that. And I agree with you. You brought this up before, so I wanted to throw that in before we ended. The Bill Murray stuff was great, but it did feel random, and that there could have been a little last-minute Bill Murray jab at the end.
I thought he was going to be MODOK. The fact that MODOK wasn't Bill Murray blew my mind. Like,
really?
And I like, because again, we've already talked about this, and I know we're trying to edit. Last thing I'll say is, dude, like, I thought Jim Carrey was going to play MODOK because people were talking about that a year ago. And then they were like, Bill Murray's going to be in the movie. And so I put it together in my own head. I did this to myself. I was like, Bill Murray's going to be fucking MODOK? And then it's like not him at all. And I liked what they did with MODOK, but I was just, especially in Bill Murray's scene, like they're like, it's like, he's coming after you, right? Talking about Kang. And it's like, who's coming after? And Bill Murray's like, oh, just a machine organism designed only for killing. And the way he says it makes you think he's talking about himself. But he just said it weird.
He says that about Ant-Man, about Paul Rudd. He said, that they're sending
a machine organism.
Yeah.
And the way he says it all like sassy.
Yeah.
That it made you think that like the whole time I was like, oh, dude, he's MODOK. He's fucking MODOK.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's just Bill Murray being sassy, I guess. Like,
yeah. I didn't think that at all. I didn't even think. I honestly had no clue who was going to be. I honestly thought it was going to be a nobody. I thought it was going to be a random. I thought it was going to be an alien in whatever.
Just CG or something. Yeah.
Well, just one of the Quantumania or Quantum people was going to be MODOK, but then they full circled that, which I appreciated.
Yeah.
BK said he kind of had heard a hint at that being what would happen.
Apparently there was MODOK concept. I can't believe. Normally the internet spoils everything for me. There was MODOK concept art like a year ago, so people went in knowing what MODOK was going to look like. And
they showed him in the trailer too.
Oh yeah, that was the first time I saw him in the trailer, but it was with the armor on.
Armor on, yeah.
But I just can't believe Twitter didn't spoil that for me. Like I'm kind of baffled that I made it this long without that being ruined. Yeah.
Well, we both gave it B's. I think we rambled on about it for an hour. We did an hour about all the other BS we've been watching. I think we did a pretty good show tonight.
Last thing I'll say, I give it a B, but I think it's the best Marvel movie since, and right below that is Doctor Strange.
Well, I'm giving it a B without rewatching it and a little bit more time going on. But Paul Rudd is just so lovable that I don't think I'm going to change my score on it, at least. The last thing I'll say is, Nick, this whole time you've had Ant-Man's head right behind you, too. Every time you move your shoulder.
Oh, wow. That's funny.
He's right there. Yeah, he's right there.
Also, you know who else is behind me that just got confirmed? New Hellboy movie in the works.
That last one wasn't good, though.
So bad. I think it's a whole new team, whole new studio. And the only thing I know is that...
Oh, Jerry.
Yeah, it's bad. The only other thing that I saw was that it's going to introduce a beloved character from the comics, and I bet that's going to be what's his name, like Screw on Head, like Captain Sergeant Screw on Head or whatever. Or
Okay.
well, yeah, like
I never read those comics.
Hellboy's amazing.
Yeah.
Hellboy's so
Those first movies were so good.
yeah.
So good.
I'll get you some Hellboy comics, dude. I'll get you some Hellboy.
Yeah.
I've got hard copy and USB.
Yeah. Well, we'll be back next week. I think next week we're gonna try to do something more fun, maybe like a Chicken Sammy kind of thing. We'll bring Sadu back on and do something.
Jer's gonna be in town.
Oh, that's
next
right.
week.
That's right.
Yeah, next Tuesday I'll be there.
That's right. So
Chicken Sandy taste test.
we might take a week off, or maybe we'll take 2 weeks off, huh, Jerry?
Well, I don't think he'll.
No,
Yeah.
I'll be back the next week.
What day do you?
But aren't you leaving on Tuesday?
No, I'll leave it on Monday.
Okay.
We'll discuss. We got
might-
bigger things to fry over here in the family, so.
Chicken Sandies.
Well, we'll try to squeeze in a show sometime next week. Maybe even if we do a shorter show
On
Yeah,
Sunday
maybe
or something. Well, maybe not
check in.
Sunday, but yeah.
we'll have some type of thing go on on the channel.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll be live. Maybe it'll be a recording from
Yeah,
something.
That's not a bad idea. Yeah.
Something will get posted on the OVerTheShow YouTube channel in the next week. How about I say that?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Everyone who watches this, go over to Hella Grip and like and subscribe, please.
Oh yeah, we're doing
Like all the videos.
Yeah. We're doing Talking Shit with McMasher. If you're into scooter history, head over there. Check out Talking Shit with McMasher. It's
Scooter
once a
history
week.
with McMasher.
Yeah.
amazing.
Well, it's pretty much just Addy talking about how brands are going under and what's his catchphrase? Oh, where did it all go wrong? And there's actually one of the homies even sent me a meme of where it's Addy as Charlie Day, and let me pull it up. It's pretty good. I have it right here. Where did it all go wrong?
Love it.
I
Love it.
like it.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, head over there, check that out, or be here on Tuesdays around 8 o'clock. That's kind of where we're going now. So 7:30 to 8 o'clock is our kind of our
I
starting
feel the
time.
latest is like 8.
Yeah.
But sometimes earlier.
And I have to point this out because I've stopped before. I know we're trying to end, but this is the ending wrap up. I've been texting the homies like, "Hey, we're all live." Now I didn't. The last 2 episodes I haven't, and the chat's been dead. So if you guys are here and you're backtracking it, Addy, Justin, Ryan Myers, aka what is it?
Trainer's Tavern. Yeah.
Sith Lord BK, y'all need to turn on your post notifications.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
Yeah.
BK and Addy, bro. You have the logins and stuff. Come on, boys, step it up here. So
Yeah.
Like
Well,
and
it's a quick
subscribe when you
little-
do that.
Yeah, exactly. Quick little like.
Yeah,
quick
it's
little
a
subscribe.
button
Maybe
press.
just leave it playing in the
Yeah.
back. Put it on mute. Leave it playing.
it's a
Yeah.
Give
button
us those
press.
minutes.
It
We
doesn't.
should do our dudesy countdown of how many minutes we need until.
Oh, like how they had the points.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of a cool idea. I like that.
I'd score this today's episode was a good one. I feel like I'd score it high. We talked a lot. You know it was crazy when we were going in. I was like, I don't know how we're gonna. I got Ant-Man, but I was like, I don't know, like what else. I wasn't even that juiced to coming in to do Ant-Man. I was like, like no one likes it. But once we started talking about it, then I realized I have a lot to say.
Yeah, you guys. Had
Yeah,
a lot
we
to
liked
say.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, whatever. We can wrap it up. But yeah, just like
Yeah.
I enjoyed this episode. I give this episode an S+.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here, boys.
And if you don't like it, we understand.
Come
That's what
back
I'm gonna
next
say.
Yeah,
week.
go
Maybe
fuck
you'll like it
yourself.
next
That's what we
week.
say. Go fuck yourself.
Oh, I meant about
Yeah,
Ant-Man.
that's what he says.
Yeah, I meant about Ant-Man, but if you don't like us, yeah, go fuck yourself. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with Nick
Yeah.
on that one. Yeah, fuck him.
Well, come back.
Oh yeah,
next
please come
week.
back. I guess. Yeah, maybe you'll like
Yeah.
what we have to say next week.
Yeah. Check in.
Yeah, check in.
We evolve.